dollar control trap. The new FedNow system might sound modern and convenient, but the truth is it's all about surveillance and control. Don't be fooled. Secure your assets right now with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, former advisor to Donald Trump. And in these times of uncertainty, I believe the best way to defend your savings is to use tangible assets, which is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, because gold has a 5,000-year track record as the ultimate guardian of wealth. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text PROTECT to the number 989898. Text PROTECT to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. On 106.3 with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports rock on church right now. And the mechanical mangler at the controls on your Monday, we call him Flounder.
On the day I was born.
Yeah, we got Super Bowl. We got Super Bowl ads. We got Tay and Travis. We got apologies. We got all those ads and the things you liked and didn't. And so we're going to do it all day. We'll have a little fun. And we also got newsy stuff. And old the Bump Your Head presidential guy. And Vice President Shiftless and Lazy, the side piece, is ready to take over. We'll also have the latest on the tranny and the judge in the Fanny the Floozy case as well. Lloyd Austin's back in the hospital. Just resign, for God's sakes. Just freaking resign. Just retire. You've been in long enough. You can retire and you're done. Get out. What the hell? Yeah, you should have retired when you did this stupid Afghanistan withdrawal, you freaking pansy. He did tell us, as a defense secretary, Lloyd Austin, he did tell his staff he'll be back in time Thursday to get his pedicures. Anyway. How's it going? Hey, Monday. Pete Davis, Mountain Jamaica. Now, what's going on up there, sir? How are you?
I am so glad to hear, though, that the defense secretary is going to resume duties tomorrow, because I would hate to go a whole day without duties.
Yes, or resuming the duties. Freaking believable. Anyway, any exciting weekend action, Super Bowl stuff? Did you go to a party or do anything, or what's the deal?
Nope. Got to sit around the couch and watch.
There you go. Flounder, how was your weekend? Super Bowl activities? And
went over to my dad's house for a little bit and grilled out there and watched the first half and some of the halftime show, and then went home for the second half. And I actually fell asleep in the third quarter.
Oh, did you? Well, yeah. I stayed up for the whole game, and then when it went into overtime, I said, no, I don't really care. It was, anyway, we'll talk about all that stuff too. Let's see, and the ads. Now, first of all, just overall rating. How would you? Let's do first football wise. Pete Davis, how would you overall rank the game as a Super Bowl football game?
I thought it was a pretty good game, even when it was a low scoring to begin with, and especially the end. I thought it was one of the better endings we've ever had with the Super Bowl. I was actually I enjoyed the whole game.
Well, I didn't see the overtime, and I just couldn't get over how sloppy it was, and the mistakes, and half the snaps he made were high. It was it was kind of sloppy to me. I'd give it like a C+ or a B- as a game, but I think the ending was great. Obviously, it's only the second time there's been an overtime Super Bowl. The other one was us, the Falcons. So anyway, that was kind of cool. Now, how would you rank the commercials overall? Generally speaking, were they? Did you see a lot of them? I assume you saw most of them.
I saw all of them, and I say maybe it was a little better than last year, but for the most part, it's been a slow decline for the last decade.
Yeah. Flounder, how about you? How would you rank the game, first of all, just as a football game?
The first half was completely different from the second half, so I'd say a 7. I thought the game was pretty good. Yeah. And then the commercials were entertaining, but I thought some were really boring.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll talk about it. There's a whole list of them, of what they did and what they're going on and stuff. So let's go. Okay, 306, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. Here's our phone number. We'd love to have your feedback. What did you think about the game and the commercials? And I got a couple. I know I'm going to get ripped for my responses to this, but so that's fine. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And, the Valentine's Day thing that I started last week. Okay, officially there's not really a contest. Okay, the Kimmer was trying to. I made my offer. I'll make it again. If you have a Valentine's poem that you would for your special loved one, and you want to send it to us, I'll be happy to read some of them. Also, my offer goes if you would like to contact somebody to say you miss them or want to get back in contact or you apologize or just a wish for whatever, and you don't have the balls to do it or the nerve and you're afraid to go, I'll do it. I mean, just offering. Okay? Just offering. I always get laughed at when I make this offer, but I'm just offering. First of all, Flounder, let's renew. I've gotten a couple of, I've gotten several Valentine's Day poems. Most of them are of kind of a threatening nature, which is not the way I think it was supposed to be handled. But if people want to send us a poem, what's the best way to do to get people to send us a poem they may have written?
So if they just go to thekimmershow.com, go to the website, top of the page, there is a contact button. You hit that contact, type your name, your email, and the message, and we will get it.
Outstanding. I got a couple on my message things, and including 3 marriage proposals. Well, the women were incarcerated, but, still, they're feeling the spirit of Valentine's Day, which I think is nice. A couple things. 308. I was just looking at the monitor. And Fox News has got a picture up there of this tranny who got killed by the cops and the mega church. And is this, what's his name? Joel Osteen, is that his place?
That's the pastor's church.
But
yes.
he wasn't there, right?
I don't believe so.
No, but he wasn't there. But he did make a comment. He said, "We don't understand why all these things happen, but we know God's in control." And someone said that may be the first time he's actually mentioned God in relation to people. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have any personal reaction as an ordained minister. I would never criticize another man of the cloth. Pete Davis, I'm sure, nor would you.
No, I'm just saying that they say it's a war on trannies. There's no war on trannies.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a war on trannies if they don't stop trying to kill people. And by the way, for the record, 2 things. One is what really bothers me is that they just showed a picture a few minutes ago. There's one up there now on Fox News. They showed a picture a few minutes ago on Fox News of the tranny. He was born a guy. Calls himself a girl, uses both male and female names, but he calls himself a girl, and it's a guy. And there was a picture up there a few minutes ago, and he was cute. If that female impersonator, tranny, had like hit on me at a party or something, I probably would have flirted with her. I mean, oh my God. There's a picture that does not look like a guy. Anyway, another thing is, I think it's important to point out, they had 2 cops with guns working the church. Guns in church saved lives. Gun-carrying security cops in church saved lives. So, I mean, I don't. Thank God. In fact, the cops, the chief of police said, boy, thank God those security guards were there. He might have killed a lot more people. Oh, by the way, the press, of course, is referring to him as her. His name is Jeffrey Escalante, going by the name Janice Yvonne Moreno. It's a guy, and the story I'm reading now says they fired upon her and killed her in self-defense. She was carrying a Free Palestine sign on the rifle. She has a criminal history, including convictions for assaulting a police officer. It was in the mega church in the afternoon. Off-duty officers at the scene engaged the shooter, returned fire. They were working security. And the little boy is not expected to survive. He was 7. Why she brought a kid in there, why she brought a gun, she got me doing it. Why the tranny brought a gun in there and was shooting up people, I mean, I don't know. They don't have a motive yet other than psycho tranny complaining about not being identified, not being recognized as a girl, I guess. Lost his mind.
Using a child as a human shield, had a Free Palestine written on the rifle. I mean, come on. I mean, we know exactly why she was in there. It's a war on Christians, and it's by the trannies. It's not Christians against trannies. Yeah. It's trannies against everybody else. Yeah. They're freaks. Yeah. They're mentally ill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. And again, we wouldn't even be having this conversation not that many years ago. Everything has changed now since the Democrats took control and since Donald Trump came down that stupid escalator. Look at how much has changed in our country in 5, 7, 8 years. I mean, I can't believe it. Anyway, I will get more to that. 312. And very quickly, President Stupid Face apparently smacked his head into Marine One, the helicopter, as they're flying back to Washington, D.C. from Delaware yesterday. He didn't seem to react to it because he probably didn't know what happened. He banged his head. And he's been screaming at his aides and his staff and the Attorney General for that report that came out we talked about last week, showing that this is hysterical. This has got to be the theme for the Republicans' campaign for presidency. Joe Biden, too senile to be charged with a crime, but he's great as far as being president. He's okay as president. I mean, it's unbelievable. And by the way, for the record, 2 things. These are not gaffes. The Democrats and all his friends saying, well, he has these gaffes. He's the guy. He calls himself the gaffmeister or gaffmaster. Whatever. These are not gaffes. These are mental lapses. These are mental problems. They're not gaffes. It's like when all of a sudden you have to have a meeting when you tell your kids, explain why grandpa's biting his nurses. It's time to take away the car keys. 313, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, happy Monday. Ooh, I got a rain update, and we'll talk. Where's this stuff? And the swiping up on my Facebook is squeaking, and I'm very upset about it, and I need an answer. Coming up with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Monday. Look out.
Kimmer Show is the only place to be on your afternoon drive, live from 3 to 6 p.m.
All these freaking illegals, they come in with no ID. No one knows where they're from. No one knows anything about them. And they give them a plane ticket and a little basket of stuff. Welcome to America? My God.
The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder are only on Extra 106.3 FM. And listen anytime on the Extra app.
What's your retirement plan? Master Plan Retirement Consultants specialize in constructing plans designed to meet the challenges you could face over the course of a retirement. As holistic retirement planners, we cover tax, income, Social Security, legacy, healthcare, and long-term care planning. Our strategies are designed to maximize your retirement savings and income while minimizing taxes and protecting your assets from forces that could disrupt your retirement, providing peace of mind. A fiduciary advisory firm, Master Plan Retirement, works with you to create the potential for a sustainable retirement and a legacy to be remembered. Join us on our weekly radio show, Retirement Roadmap, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on Extra 106.3 as we discuss retirement topics for today's financial environment. Episodes can also be found on YouTube and on your podcast platform. Find us at masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Blue collar business owners, listen up. It's time to revolutionize your hiring process with the Blue Collar Recruiter. Finding the right talent for your blue collar needs just got easier. We specialize in connecting you with skilled and dedicated workers so you can focus on growing your business. So say goodbye to recruitment headaches. Let the Blue Collar Recruiter save you time, effort, and deliver top-notch talent directly to your doorstep. Invest in your team's success with the Blue Collar Recruiter. Visit thebluecollarrecruiter.com or call 678-916-6145.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline, 800-262-2917. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-262-2917 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. That's 800-262-2917 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-262-2917.
Look out, it's only me, it's only the Kimmer. How's it going? 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Oh, boy. The old police action for you there. Oh, mercy. There you go. There we go. This was a big day in 2007. During a press conference at West Hollywood's Whiskey A Go-Go, Sting, on this day in 2007, confirmed the police were getting back together. They were set to kick off a world tour in May of 2007 in Vancouver, supported by Sting's son Joe Sumner's band, Fiction Plane. That was 2007, and exactly same day, 30 years earlier, the police recorded their first ever single, Fallout. Cost them $255 at a studio in London. Was written by their drummer, Stuart Copeland. It's the only police recording featuring original guitarist Henry Padovani. Mick Jagger's review of that single in Sounds magazine called the song competently, again, this is their first one in 1997. God, their first one, police first one in 1977. Mick Jagger reviewed it and said, the song is competently played rock with nasal annihilated vocals. I don't know what that means. It failed to chart on the original release. It was re-released 2 years later in 79 and made it to number 47. So there's a police little, every word you say or whatever, everything you do or around my finger, are those two different songs or is that the same song?
I think you're referring to every...
3 different songs.
Every breath we take.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then every little thing she does
every
is
little
magic.
thing she does. Yeah, that's like I was saying. The Kimmer.
Just about had it.
Murdered by number. 3 songs.
The Kimmer's musical history knowledge is somewhat lacking. I'll tell you, I'm not lacking in this. I've got a picture in my phone I've saved for some reason. I don't know why, of Christina Ricci, whose birthday is today. That naughty little strumpet from, what was it? Was it the Addams Family? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. She grew up. I'll tell you what, I have a picture of her. I'll show you this picture of Christina Ricci. Christina Ricci is 44 today. I have a picture of her wearing a teeny little dress and some teeny little high-heeled sandals. And let me tell you, this girl has got a set of wheels. Holy smokes. Anyway, Christina Ricci is 44. She was in that weird series, HBO or Showtime, about the girls in the woods on the plane crash. They were all soccer team girls, and they got stranded on a plane crash. Yellow Jackets, yeah. Wow. Anyway, Christina Ricci's 44. Oh, also, I've got a horrible history thing, a horrible history thing, and I don't know why I'm going to do it because it's just horrible, but I'm going to do it early so it'll be done. I don't have to look forward to doing it the rest of the day of what people are capable of and what the result was so many years ago. It was on this day, 1993, one of the most notorious crimes in British history. James Bulger was lured away from his mother at a shopping mall and was found beaten to death. The horrifying story included the two killers were 10 years old, and James Bulger was 2. The two guys named Venables and Thompson had stolen. They were going through the mall stealing stuff. Later on, security footage and eyewitnesses accounted for the story. These two guys, Venables and Thompson, were stealing stuff at the mall, including some blue paint. They took the little boy, and while they were walking off with him, he was sort of crying, and people would say, "Why is he crying?" And the boys were saying, "Oh, it's our little brother, and he's fine." They say, "Oh, okay." At one point, they were beating him up, and he was bloodied and crying, and somebody came along and said, "What?" And they said, "Well, he fell." He said, "Oh, my God, well, you better take care of him." Okay. Nobody did anything. There were like 4 or 5 examples of people who saw this little boy being taken away by what they thought were his brothers or his family. They splashed paint into his eye. They kicked him. They pummeled him with bricks and stones, and they stuffed batteries into his mouth. Then they hit him over the head with a 22-pound iron bar, and he had 42 injuries to his face and head. They couldn't even tell which injury killed him. The 2 boys put his dead body on some railroad tracks, hoping that a train would come along and annihilate the whole thing. The boys were caught. The killer, John Venables, they were both put away, but they were charged as kids. They were 10 years old. 10. The little boy was 2. The guy Venables had a parole hearing and was denied. Apparently, after he got out of jail, he was caught in 2001 after more child porn on his phone. They put him back in jail in 2013. They caught him again, put him back in jail in 2017. Another parole, and they've turned him down. He's a pervert. The other guy, James Bulger, who's the murderer, is now in a stable gay relationship at the age of 23 in 2006 and has settled into his local community in London somewhere. No one knows his name except his gay lover. They allowed the boys to change their names and identity so no one would ever know who they were because of this horrible, notorious crime. And so far, one of the guys is still in prison and may never get out. The other one is now in a gay relationship and doing fine. And he's, like 32 years old, and he got out of jail when he was 18 after torturing and murdering a 2-year-old toddler. And he's free to walk around with his gay lover. Okie doke. Anyway, sorry. I don't know why he's alive. I honestly, I don't. And for the people who saw this, there must have been 10 different people who saw, oh, God, that was a kid. Like that. And nobody did anything. And again, it was 93. Maybe today would it be different? Maybe people are more aware of. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. Okay, sorry, I'm done. That's it. I can't stand it. Oh, check this out. Hold on, my iPad just went dark. 1, 2, 3, click. Oh, speaking of iPads, I got to get to this too. We've got to do Super Bowl ads and all that stuff. And I promise I'll do it. President Stupid Face. Oh, here we go. I got into the microphone. President Stupidface was giving a speech this morning at a special counsel. Talked about Robert Herr's special counsel report. President Showers' daughter was at the National Association of Counties Legislative Conference, and he was talking about how wonderful his administration is. Did you know that everything's great now? The economy's great. It's all been solved. Inflation's gone. And I mean, it's really tremendous. So here he's talking about promoting a network of electric charging stations. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's, I would run on that. We're going to build more electric charging stations than the Republicans, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so he said, we're promoting clean energy in industries, and he said, what I didn't realize, and I've been around, I know it doesn't look like it, but I've been around a while. I do remember that. Oh, they laughed, and they all kissed him on the cheek and said, oh, we love you, Mr. President, isn't it? Yeah, great. You freaking idiot. That's how they're going to try to make a joke about, again, these are not gaffes. These are mental lapses that are going on here. All right, 3:25. God, I can't believe it. A judge is having a meeting. I may still be in the meeting right now here in Atlanta about whether or not the Fulton County floozy Fannie Willis has to testify later this week. In fact, on Thursday, again, she's been accused of all kinds of shenanigans, and she's supposed to be giving her explanation for all this on February 15th before Judge McAfee. Today, she's asking a judge to make it possible for her not to have to testify. So she's trying to get out of it, and the reason is there's been another charge issued, and that is that she was having an affair with Wade, who was known for length and girth, and she was having an affair with him, playing Hide the Zorgata, or in her case, Hide the Zorgata, long, like 2 years before she put him on the payroll, which means that she knew all along that it wasn't, that it would just happen. It just happened to be something that happened. So anyway, that's we're going after that stuff. And Lloyd Austin's back in the hospital. He's got bladder issues now and stuff. Just retire, for God's sakes. Resign, retire. You're not doing. I mean, you're a freaking disgrace. You're responsible for all that. The way we're felt about in this country. Just go. Just really pack it in. What's your problem? Okay, 3:26. Okay, either guys have a favorite Super Bowl commercial. One that stuck out to you that was really great, Pete?
Yeah, I always pick the wrong one. I always hate the one everybody likes, and I love the one everybody hates. But anyway, the Reese's peanut butter ad I thought was great about putting caramel in some of them, and everybody freaking out about putting caramel in. I thought that was hysterical.
In fact, Flounder, now, did you like that one? The Reese's, remember that one?
Yeah.
In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that because I have a list. I think I have a Flounder printout. Somebody did a recap of all the great Super Bowl ads of what they thought were all the great Super Bowl ads, and they did not include the Reese's peanut butter cup ad, which I wrote down in my notes because I liked it. Because when that grandmother started spitting, I mean, and they said we haven't announced we're changing Reese's. No, I mean it was funny. It was a funny ad. I thought that was really a clever ad, and it was because the grandmother spitting. She's going whack, big Louis all over the place. I mean, I thought that was pretty interesting. Excuse me. The one they start with here, and again, if you have a reaction to this, we'd love to talk. It's Monday, it's raining, it's silly, goofy, stupid. So, time to make a phone call. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. The ad they start with in this article is the Dunkin' Donut Kings. See, now there you go. Okay. Ben Affleck, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, and the ad here for Dunkings. Here comes the Boston Massacre. He shouts as Affleck suddenly bursts into his entourage in tow. Excuse me, I've got a damn thing in my thing here. Tom Brady is on keyboard. Matt Damon is on vocals. They pull out slops in a desperate bid to make it on J-Lo's album. She's not impressed. The men drudge off. These are like $7 million a piece for a 30-second ad. Lopez tells Brady, who's manning the keyboard. Oh, well, first let me. They were in the recording session and so forth. Affleck performs awkwardly, choreographing with his wife looking on, stunned. At the end, she whispers, "We've talked about this." Now, here's the ending. At the ending, as he and Matt Damon head out, Jennifer Lopez, who's married to Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez tells Brady...
No, she's not.
Yeah, aren't they? They're together. Aren't they together?
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez
They haven't been together for years.
They're together. Yeah, they are.
No, they're married. You're thinking of Jennifer Garner.
I thought she was A-Rod.
No. Oh, God, no.
That was years ago.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, they're married. And in fact, they've been in the news as the most loving couple in the world. I mean, they're everywhere. It's Ben Lowe or J Ben or something. Okay. Oh, no, so they're married. So here's the reason I bring this out. They're very married, and they're very public, and they're very, all over the place as the celebrity couple these days. Okay, so as Ben Affleck, her husband, and Matt Damon are leaving, Jennifer Lopez looks to Tom Brady and says, "You can stay." Now, I was offended by that, and if that were my wife,
oh boy,
I'm serious. If that were my wife and they wanted us to do a commercial, I wouldn't let her do it, or I'd say no. Not that I would have anything to do with it. She'd do whatever she wants. Obviously, not that I would ever have to tell a wife. No, but seriously, I would not. I wouldn't allow it. I think that's wrong. That's it's a little flirty little cheating thing. That's you're married. It's not a joke. It's that she's hot. She's hot for Tom Brady. I mean, the inclination, which is they're teasing or joking around. Hey, I got the hots for you, Tom. You can stay. I mean, I'd be totally offended, absolutely offended. Not my freaking wife.
That's why it's a commercial. It's called acting.
Yeah. Matt Damon's smart-ass comments were the only amusing thing about that commercial. I blame government-educated schools for dumbing down the capability of enjoying humor, actual humor in this country.
Well, we hope
that was a stupid commercial.
Well, again, I thought it was pretty clever, but at the end, I was offended, and I think it's wrong, and I would pack up her bags. 341 for the Giver Feed and Flounder. Shut up. Slut.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, here's a cold, hard truth. Our American values are under attack. You know it, I know it. Our financial system is frankly broken. The economic outlook for this coming year alone is extremely uncertain. That's why I'd like to remind you to protect your hard-earned savings with an asset you can trust, gold. I made my very first gold purchase back early 2000. Now I am happy to tell you about Lear Capital. Today, my original sales representative is still there, and that investment that I made 25 years ago has quadrupled. Lear, they'll help you prepare for the coming insanity. With over $3 billion in trusted transactions, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee, Lear is the precious metals leader that you can trust. Get your free wealth protection guide, and Lear will also credit your account $250 towards your purchase. Call today, 800-475-2280. That's 800-475-2280. Lear Capital.
How you doing? 340 at 335. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder. Happy Monday. Is it still raining up the mountains of Macon there, Pete? Is the rain gone? Are we out of it? I thought we were going to get a whole pile of it. What's the deal?
It's monsoon.
Oh, crap. Well, I can't see out our window here. I don't know if it's still raining. It was just really kind of very light rain here at the Battery, here at the ballpark when I came in. Anyway, that's the forecast. Here's Joe Strummer. The Class, is that what we have? The Class 47 Locomotive 47828 was named after Clash frontman Joe Strummer. I had a ceremony in Bristol on this day in 2005. The diesel train, owned by Cotswold Rail, was named after the singer-guitarist who died at the age of 50 in 2002, 3 years before. Named after Joe from The Clash. Right? Yeah. I know the name, I really don't know any of their stuff. It's not really my style. But
Rock the Kabash was probably their biggest hit, I'd say, Pete.
Yeah.
Casbah.
Where have you?
Casbah.
Like Rock the Casbah. It's 3:36 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flound. We may need to reset your Cowabunga there on your computer thing there because we have a very serious situation.
I'll reset it real quick.
Our birthday list includes Joe Don Baker, Sheriff Buford Pusser in the original 1973 version of Walking Tall. The Rock played his role. Screw The Rock. I don't even mention The Rock. I'm never watching any of his stuff either. Because I don't like what he stands for. Big tough guy. Yeah, except when it comes to standing for America, big tough guy. God, I'll bet he'd hide in a freaking closet if it ever came to it. If he thought the cause was not, if we had a cause there weren't enough trannies fighting in the front lines, he'd probably protest. Screw you punk. Rock. Oh, I don't want to vote on Republicans are a danger to America. Pussy. Sorry. Joe Don Baker, 88 years old, my God. Baker's one of a handful of actors to play both a Bond villain and an ally. I remember that. He was the arms dealer fighting Timothy Dalton in The Living Daylights, but he was also the CIA agent helping Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies. He took the place of the other CIA guy after James Bond, the original one. James Connolly, what's his name? John Connolly. James Bond. What the hell? John Connery. There you go. I knew I was in there somewhere. Shut up. Anyway, Joe Don Baker is 88 years old today. By the way, he was in a movie. I can't remember. I should have looked this up. I just thought of it just now. Well, how could I look it up? He was in a movie. I think it was him. He was in a movie, played a private detective or a killer, either one, and he basically raped Sally Fields. And I forgot it was a murder mystery or something, and I think he was maybe
you're
a hired
a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law. You're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
And basically, I hope I didn't get this wrong. And she was hired. I think she was hiring somebody to do something, and he shows up at her place, and then he said something. I remember him saying something. He grabbed her and he said, "Let's see what's in this little package," and he just took her clothes off and had sex with her. And it's a damned. I think it was Joe Don. I think it was this guy, whatever I just said his name, Joe Don Baker and Sally Fields. Or Field, I guess there's no S on the end. Anyway, I wish I should have looked it up, and I can't now because I'm on the radio. Let's see. On this day in history, in 1912, the last emperor of China was forced to give up the throne at the tender age of 6. The 1987 movie about his life won 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture Oscar, Emperor of China, and 1912. And after that, it became the People's Republic of China. Before that, it was the so-called dynasty of whoever. But it was 1912, Communist China became Communist China because they got rid of the 6-year-old emperor. Okie dokie, 3:39, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, by the way, the 3 o'clock hour is sponsored by our good friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to grow your business, visit FirstLibertyGA.com. You'll be glad you did. 3:39, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. What? Oh, it's even worse. He's not even speaking anymore.
I had him turned down because I reset him. Sorry, Pete. Go ahead.
Okay, well, here we go. And cue him.
I wondered about that. They didn't become communists in 1912. It was 1948 or 7 around there when they became communists.
Well, that's true. They became the Republic of China in 1912, but they became officially Ho Chi or whoever it was who made them that. Anyway, yeah.
That was Vietnam.
Ho Chi.
Once again, you're this close to the actual fact.
As far as I'm concerned, it was the same damn thing. In Tet Offensive of 68 when I landed, it didn't matter Chinese, Vietnamese. What the hell, man?
It wasn't Ho Chi Minh.
Choi, oi. Choi, Dutch. Sao Mao Choi, oi.
Chou En Lai.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was the negotiator. He was the Chou En Lai.
He was the right-hand man.
That's right. Oh, my God. Yeah, thanks for the memories. 3:40, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Can I do a quick thing? This is really weird. Speaking of the rain, I bought a relatively new umbrella a few months, it wasn't long ago, several months ago at Publix. And I just looked at the note on it. It's a totes. And what amazes me, I'm walking in today, and the last time I used it, I rarely use an umbrella. If I'm at the store in the... What?
One this morning.
Oh, did you? Cool. Well, this is a Flounders showed me he bought one this morning. A Totes umbrella at the store. They're all over the place. And mine is not the mini one. It's like a foot and a half. It's one of the short that pops up when you hit the button.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. And here's what's amazing. I haven't used an umbrella in so long, other than like on the golf course years ago when I played golf. So if I'm at the store and it's raining, I just run into the store. I don't take an umbrella with me. It's no big deal. But I've had one with me, and I just realized there must be some kind of a new material, because the umbrella was soaking wet, and I'm not making this up. I took it in my hand and I went whoosh, once, and all the water came off. It was as dry as a bone. And I thought, when have you ever had an umbrella that you didn't have to shake and shake and shake and shake and it was still wet, it was still damp and wet? This was totally bone dry. Everything came off in one flick. I couldn't believe it. I mean, there must be, and again, I haven't bought an umbrella, one of those little umbrellas to carry around in 20 years, probably, I've had one in the car in my trunk. But anyway, I don't know why. I just thought that was amazing to me. Okay, 3:42. Sorry, I got distracted. But I was amazed. I couldn't believe it. One flicking.
Science.
Yes, total science. Okay, let's play a commercial, Flounder. Let's do the one with Christopher Walken. I thought this was funny. BMW, the network promised a mountain of entertainment and streaming platform for the one Paramount. Oh, I get the line here. The wrong idiot. Christopher Walken, talking like Walken, and he meets a bunch of celebrities who are trying to imitate him and stuff. Here's a little bit of talking like Walken with Flounder. Right?
That's right.
It's the real deal. 100% electric.
It's the real deal.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. Enjoy your coffee. Careful, top.
Your dog's so cute.
You look nice.
Hello, Mr. Walken. Does this table work for you?
There's only one Christopher Walken and only one ultimate driving machine. The rest are just imitations.
Come on. They even had Usher in there, and they said, "Don't you have somewhere to be?" Anyway, I thought that was pretty clever. 3:43, and let's do Flounder, if you would. Let's do the RFK commercial. And boy, I'm totally surprised at the reaction to this and what's happened because of the reaction. Flounder, you have that one in there? Here we go. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. commercial.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do?
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you.
American Values 2024 is responsible for the contents of this advertisement.
Well, holy cow. I thought it was a very clever way of Robert Kennedy Jr. to say, let's not forget about the Kennedy factor over here. And it wasn't as though he said, I'm just like my uncle or something. I didn't get that at all. All I got was what a clever way to say, let's remember what we stand for. And Robert, if you'll remember, Jack Kennedy was a liberal Democrat and a Catholic who also said what's good for business is good for America. He also threatened to bomb the crap out of the Russians if they didn't get rid of their satellite bases and their missile bases in Cuba. I mean, the guy was on the brink of World War. I mean, he was not a pansy, and he was not some freaking socialist. He was a liberal, but he was a business guy. I mean, he knew what's good for America. And he's, some of these old-fashioned things. And here's what happened. Robert Kennedy Jr., whom this ad was about, has just apologized to his family. I had no idea. I guess I was doing other things when this apparently came out, I guess, last night. The Kennedy cousin named Bobby Shriver had criticized the ad, saying the Super Bowl ad used our uncle's faces and my mother's, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, I guess it was, and she would be appalled by his deadly health care views. Respect for science, vaccines, and healthcare equity were in her DNA. She strongly supported my healthcare work at one campaign, which he opposes. So the cousin said, my uncle is using my mother's and our family's faces, and they would be appalled at his stand on health care and the vaccine and stuff like that. So even the family. So now Robert Kennedy Jr. Has pushed back on the allegations. He said after the day they had, it's understandable they'd want to put focus on somebody else, all the Democrats. The DNC is in no position to assert morality over anybody. They refused to have a primary. They've worked against the will of the people in the past few elections. It's sad to see the party my family built crash and burn. Well, the presidential campaign co-pack chair, Tony Lyons, confirmed that the ad, which appeared before the halftime show, cost $7 million. And Kennedy says, I'm sorry it ran. He said, I had nothing to do with it. It was done by a super PAC. And he says it wasn't me. So he's even I thought it was a great ad, but he's had to apologize to his family for an ad about him running for president. How could you not want your uncle to be president? My God. Anyway, I don't get it. 3:47, a little late for a break here with a Carrot, Pete, and Flounder. Happy Monday, man. Unreal.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
Your job is to listen to this radio show so that you know how to navigate the future. This is not power. Okay, the power's already been sucked up by the corporations and everyone else who's really in charge. Your job, and the reason why you listen to this station and this show, is to know how to navigate what the current situation is going to be and know when it's changing.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
The Atlanta Braves are proud to host the annual Bill Lucas Ralph Garr HBCU Classic, March 1st and 2nd at Coolray Field in Gwinnett. Come see the Grambling State University Tigers take on the Florida A&M Rattlers. The HBCU Classic is designed to showcase HBCU baseball in the Southeast and foster the next generation of diverse baseball players. Friday's March 1st game begins at 5 p.m., followed by a game Saturday, March 2nd at noon. Tickets are $15. Get yours today at braves.com/HBCU Classic.
Spring is right around the corner, and the folks at Howard Brothers are gearing up. If you need a new mower in 2024, Howard Brothers and Skag have it for you. Skag zero-turn mowers and Skag walk-behind mowers are a perfect solution for pro landscapers and homeowners who want to show off the amazing stripes of the lawns they manage. Howard Brothers' biggest one-day sale of the year is on Wednesday, March 6th. It's a great time to add a Skag to your fleet or to your garage. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Skag and Howard Brothers.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the difference of Relief Factor.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, Screamin Jay right here. Yeah, well, that's the reason, and I was wondering what the hell was going on in my life. I'm sorry. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know where to break in here. Screamin Jay Hawkins on this day in the year 2000 passed away at the age of 70 after emergency surgery for an aneurysm. Screamin Jay Hawkins was a Golden Gloves boxing champion when he was 16 years old. He was married 9 times, fathered 30 children, spent 2 years in jail, was temporarily blinded by one of his flaming props on stage in 1978. He recorded I Put a Spell on You in 1956, which was covered by many acts, including The Animals, CCR, and Nina Simone. Screamin Jay Hawkins died on this day. Let's give it 20 seconds here. This was... Wah! Yeah. That's fine. I'm going to get in the saxophone.
Well, wasn't he the voice in Nightmare Before Christmas of Oogie Boogie?
You've got me there, sir. I don't remember Oogie Boogie. I remember the name and not anything about the show or his character. I don't know. I'm sorry. We'll check it out, though. Somebody will get on that. I'll bet you. It's 404-741-1230 right now. Somebody will be popping on the phone.
Ho Chi Minh. Probably use Ho Chi Minh.
Well, all right. I got one, Chinaman and Vietnam. I mean, what the... 352. Our birthday list includes... I need this stupid job. Our birthday list includes Maude Adams. Maude Adams is 79. She's the only Bond girl to star in 2 007 movies. 1974, she played Andrea Anders in The Man with a Golden Gun. And then in 1983, she was the title character in Octopussy, both Roger Moore movies. And by the way, I'm not making this up. Back when I was retired down in at Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, I was at PGA National, and that was in not the rich section of Palm Beach where Trump was. Mar-a-Lago was in West Palm Beach, and Palm Beach, and the other side of it. But I would ride my Harleys and stuff and take little trips around there. And on one of across one of the many bridges in Palm Beach County near that part of Florida, along one of the docks along the bay was a huge, beautiful black yacht. Fancy, sleek, really kind of high-tech, modern-looking, fancy, beautiful, black, sleek yacht named Octopussy. And I don't know whether it was, somebody from the movie or Roger Moore's or I don't know. But anyway, I used to see it all the time down here in Florida. Let's have 5:53. How's it going? Let's talk a little bit about the ball game. Oh, first of all, I thought this was funny. Pete Davis, I saw you posted sometime over the weekend. I guess it was obviously after the game. Maybe it was this morning. There was a picture of the San Francisco streets, and the homeless encampments and turds all over the place, and just nothing but glitter and bottles and bums and everything. And the caption, he was something like, "Boy, I guess they're lucky they didn't have to have a parade after a victory." That wasn't. And I got to thinking, holy smokes! Can you imagine what they would have had to do to clean up, have a parade in San Francisco? After all, I mean, oh my God. Well, even the Babylon Bee got into it, saying San Franciscans continue crapping in the street in honor of 49ers crapping the bed. This is what we deserve, shouted Christian McCaffrey as he dumped Never mind, I can't do that. This is what it means to be in San Francisco. Oh my God. I mean, can you imagine what they would have had? They could have had a parade. It would have had to be in Santa Clara.
We already know what they would have done. They would have cleared the streets and put them in camps like they did for the Chinese dictator.
Yeah, send them over to Fort Ord or whatever. Something, 29
the Presidio.
Palms. Yeah. My God. I mean, it's unfreaking believable. I mean, I just can't believe it. Unbelievable. Okay, quick, 3:55. Let's get into this now. The Negro National Anthem. The song is called Lift Every Voice and Sing. And they played that before the national anthem. And by the way, they didn't play it back to back, which I thought was obvious. So they didn't want to do a comparison. And they did that on purpose. They delayed several minutes between. When they played what's called the Black National Anthem, although referred here by Congressman as the Negro National Anthem, I thought two things. I looked very carefully when they started playing it. I looked at the crowd in the background. Everybody was just milling around, talking on their phones, going up the stairs to get a drink at the whatever. I mean, it looked like it just, it didn't look like halftime going to the restroom, but they were milling around and just doing their thing. The only shots that the director took for the entire performance of the Black National Anthem was of the chorus and the dancers and the people at the microphones. Every time there's some kind of a thing like this, they always show the crowd. They show, little girl crying or a guy with his hand over his... They always show, not with the Black National Anthem, because he couldn't find anybody. There must have been a few people who were probably standing and bowing, whatever, but everybody else just milling around. And the director must have said, we don't have a shot. We don't have a shot. Got to get a shot of somebody. No, we don't have it. There's nobody shooting. There's nobody paying attention. I mean, it was hysterical. Well, anyway, now a Democratic congressman is furious. Steve Cohen, Democrat, Tennessee. He said, very, very few stood for Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Negro National Anthem, not a pretty picture of Super Bowl crowd. Yeah.
Well, if certain people want to kneel for the national anthem, why do we have to stand for the Black national anthem?
Exactly.
So kiss my ass.
Among other things. Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida said he said he had a conversation with his wife why we're not going to watch the Super Bowl. They're desecrating America's national anthem by playing something called the Black National Anthem. Ohio Representative Mike Lochik said there's no such thing as a Black National Anthem. We're all Americans, united by our great and beautiful Star-Spangled Banner. The Super Bowl is supposed to bring us together. This is a disgrace that the NFL decided to push the politics of racial division again. They started doing this in 2020 after George Floyd died. So the NFL took, to honor a scumbag fighter of the police who died of a drug overdose, responsible for the wrong reasons for the destruction of America for a summer and a half, for crying out loud. And the NFL said we have to honor George Floyd, a scumbag career criminal, fought police. And then the NAACP promoted Lift Every Voice and Sing as a Black national anthem in 1917. By the way, when they were founded, I've got that history near someplace. But anyway, some of the reaction is obvious. Before the Super Bowl, a young black man and proud American, this guy C.J. Pearson, says, I'm young and black, and let me make myself clear. There is only one national anthem, as there is only one United States of America. It's for everyone. White, black, yellow, even maroon. The left's agenda of division isn't just needless, it's exhausting. That's the thing. It's exhausting.
Well, I literally turned the sound off and went in the kitchen and made my pigs in blankets. But I'm telling you, if there's a Black national anthem, where is the Hispanic national anthem and the Asian national anthem?
We need an Asian
tribal.
We need an American Indian national anthem. We need, if there's any depressed group of citizens on this planet that we should be apologizing for and making up for, of anybody we've had contact with for our entire career as human beings on the planet, now being Americans, it's the Indians. I mean, we took their land. They were here before us, okay? And we just took their stuff. So you live over here, and we'll take care of you, probably, maybe, and then we'll take everything else. And we'll take your gold. And
one group, we took their land and their lives. The other one, we took their freedom and their lives.
Right.
But let's split into tribes, and everybody have their own song, and the Super Bowl will be 4 hours long just for the pregame.
Right. And by the way, let's make a point. There have been more black presidents of the United States than there have been Indian presidents of the United States. There have been more black governors and more black business, more black college professors and more black owners of businesses than there have been Indian owners of businesses and Indian representatives and Indian senators.
As my Cuban friend says, as my Cuban friend says, all you gringos claim you're part Indian.
No habla español. 4 o'clock with a Giver Pete and Flounder. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
The gunman gunman in a megachurch shooting. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. Police in Houston say the suspect killed in a shootout yesterday was known to police.
Houston Police Commander Chris Hassig says Genesee Moreno got out of a car with her 7-year-old child, forced her way past a security guard at the Lakewood megachurch, and opened fire inside a hallway. 2 off-duty officers responded, killing Moreno. The 7-year-old was shot in the head and is in critical condition. Hassig says Moreno's gone by male names before and was known to have mental health issues. She also had a criminal record. A Palestine sticker was on the firearm she used.
We do believe that there was a familial dispute that has taken place between her ex-husband and her ex-husband's family, and some of those individuals are Jewish.
He says they also found what appear to be some of her anti-Semitic writings.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The National Security Council still concerned about TikTok, even though President Biden's campaign used the platform for a video during the Super Bowl.
All I can speak to credibly, which I have today, is that from an NSC perspective, there are still national security concerns about the use of TikTok on government devices, and there's been no change to our policy not to allow that.
National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby not saying whether the administration is still considering a broader ban on the app. The White House also facing more questions about the president's mental fitness, called into question by a special counsel report. Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips still seeking the Democratic nomination.
The president, I think he's a good man. This isn't about that. The question is, should he serve even if he was able to win? Is he in a position to serve until 2029? Look, I think we know the answer. I don't think the country wants either of these two men.
Pointing to recent polling that also shows concern about former President Trump's age. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up 126 points, but the S&P and the NASDAQ finish in the red. America is listening to Fox News.
The Fed is setting a digital dollar control trap. The new FedNow system might sound modern and convenient, but the truth is it's all about surveillance and control. Don't be fooled. Secure your assets right now with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, former advisor to Donald Trump. And in these times of uncertainty, I believe the best way to defend your savings is to use tangible assets, which is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, because gold has a 5,000-year track record as the ultimate guardian of wealth. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text PROTECT to the number 989898. Text PROTECT to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Yeah, how's it going? Better than down to that. 403, how are you? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder here on your Monday. Here we go. I'll play a little U2 here, Flounder. That's okay. It's U2. It was on this day in 1997. U2 held a news conference at the lingerie department at the Greenwich Village Kmart store in Manhattan. The lingerie section of the Kmart in Greenwich Village to announce their Pop Mart World Tour. The tour was set to start in Vegas, April of that year, 1997. U2. Wow. Let's see, 404, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Our birthday list includes China Phillips. Biggest Wilson Phillips hits, Hold On, Release Me. China Phillips is, whose daughter is she? She's 56. Is she famous? Somebody's famous daughter? Or is she Mamas and the Papas, right? We did Mamas and the Papas guy, right? Yeah, John Phillips. Mm-hmm. Now, was he the one? He wasn't the one. That was Mick Jagger was taking care of the daughter. Oh, never mind.
Well, actually, China's father is Ho Chi Minh. So
I thought it was. I thought it was Yo Fat. I thought it was the other one.
Whoa, Fat. Hawaii 5-0 reference. I love it. Thank you.
Book him, Dano.
Book him, Dano. Whoa, Fat.
Rico, Little John. How we get the Untouchables. One day, I swear to God, for like an hour, we'll just do slogans of great TV shows from the past or something. Just shout them out all day.
When are we going to do the punchline show where we just do the punchlines, the jokes we can't tell.
Well, I used to do that as a quiz. If I'd give the punchline and they knew the joke, but a lot of them you can't tell the joke. I remember when Ludlow Porch used to do that. Ludlow Porch used to say his favorite punchline was, "That's not my wife, officer, and the midget was on fire when I got here."
Honestly, officer, I was just helping this sheep over the fence.
Oh, man. 405. Sorry. Man, I don't know what's going on. I think it's maybe I've got pleurisy or something. Our music and birthday list tends to be a lot of musical stuff here today for some reason. It wasn't planned. It's just popping up that way. On this day, 1968, high school dropout Jimi Hendrix, in 1968, returned to his hometown of Seattle for the first time in 7 years for a sold-out show. He had planned to perform there for free the next day at his old school, Garfield High. Unfortunately, that February 13th school assembly, today being the 12th, on the 13th assembly the next day he wanted to play at his high school, didn't work out the way he'd planned. Hendrix was sleep deprived. He didn't have his guitar because his equipment truck went missing, and most of the kids had no clue who he was in the first place. Jimi Hendrix in high school. And let's see, Kimber Pete and Flounder, 406-404-741-1230, 741-1230. Again, if you just joined us, the suspect in that Joel Osteen church shooting, Osteen was not there. One of these mega churches, it's a guy, born as a guy, wants to be a girl. He's a tranny. He had a message of free Hamas or free Palestine on his rifle, and he was shooting up the place, and he had a 7-year-old boy with him for some reason who may not live. The last I heard, the little boy was in danger of dying. Now, I don't know whether he got shot by the scumbag guy pretending to be a girl with him. I don't even know who the kid is. I don't think we know yet whose kid it is, do we? I'm looking at the latest story, and it doesn't have that in there, so I don't know. But he had free Palestine on his gun, and we don't know a motive other than obviously he's a freak. And it was in a church, so it's clearly an anti-Christian thing. Again, the tranny who threatened to kill me that night, and here on the air of the night, he's sending a message, he's going to kill me tonight. And it was because he thought Christians and conservatives didn't hold transsexuals in the same place as human beings. And of course, they're nuts. That's total nonsense. I don't care if you're a tranny, God bless you. I feel bad for you. That's all. I feel bad for you. Don't try to change my kid. But leave me alone. You'll be fine. Dress any way you want. I don't care.
But with all lefties, they accuse us of what they themselves are doing. They're the ones shooting us, not the other way around.
Yeah. Again, the last big one was at that school where the girl wanted to be a guy, started shooting little boys and girls and 2 adults. I mean, come on.
Nashville.
My God. And by the way, I mentioned this before. This really freaked me out. The picture that's going around now of this guy who wanted to be a girl is pretty ugly. But there was one picture that they showed a little while ago, and he looked like a cute girl. Honestly, I was
starting to worry about you because I saw the ugly picture.
No, don't look at the ugly. This is, oh my God. But I'm telling you, if you look at if you'll see if they scramble all the photographs, there's one in there. That was a little cutie. If she'd come up sitting next to me at the bar and said, "Hey, can you buy me a drink?" I said, "Damn right." How about a little kiss? So guy, I guess.
Hey, buddy, can you buy me a drink?
We got an Adam's apple bopping up and down there or something. But I think the best thing to realize is, guys, I think the rule ought to be from now on, never kiss a girl until you've seen her naked. Just really to be safe. So ladies, if you could or half naked, we'll do that. If you want to kiss from a guy, you're going to have to just a half thing. We'll leave it at that. 409, Kimber Pete and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Okay, we did the national anthem thing. A little bit about the game. Pete, again, we have Holy Crap at Sports in about an hour. We'll talk about the Super Bowl game. And there is other newsy stuff going on, but really not much of any interest to me, I'll be honest with you. And I didn't, when the game went into overtime, I went upstairs to read and went to bed. I didn't watch overtime. But anyway, a couple things. Pete Davis, did you have a problem with the Travis Kelce bumping in and screaming at his head coach on the sideline there? Boy, did that get reaction on social media.
I had a major problem with it. I thought he was being a thug. There's one thing about screaming at your coach. Can you imagine a player doing that to Chuck Noll or Don Shula or any Vince Lombardi, any of the old coaches, or Tom Landry? But he can go up to a Hall of Fame coach like Andy Reid, who has made Travis Kelce what he is because of Andy Reid, and scream at him like that and then bump into him and almost knock him over. That's uncalled for. If that's the first or second game of the season, his butt is on the bench. But since it's the Super Bowl, you can't bench him. He's your best receiver.
Yeah. Well, of course, he talked. Kelce talked to ESPN reporter Booger McFarland afterwards, screaming at Reid after a fumble in the red zone, and he said, "This is what Kelce said. Man, it was. I'm going to keep it between us unless my mic'd up tells the world. I was just telling him how much I love him," and he smiled. I know he was on mic, so there's going to be sound somewhere. Somebody's got the sound, and it will come out.
Well, they've done the lip reading, and by the way, he had a point because Andy Reid kept running the damn ball, and the only way they were moving it was throwing the ball. And they fumbled when they ran the ball. When that second pass should have been right to Kelce in the end zone. Bam, bam, 2 passes. Suddenly you're in the lead, and the 49ers are sitting there going, "What just happened? We dominated the first half, and now we're behind." Instead, he does a running play after the 49ers have been stuffing their run the whole damn game up to that point. So Kelce had a point, but you don't go about it that way. And I'm telling you what, the Swifties, there's a lot of liberal women in the Swifties.
Well, I'm going to do that. Don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. I would do that next. But now, what did lip readers think he said? Do we know what we think he said to him? F-bombs
throw me
or
the
something?
blanking ball. I'm open, give me the ball. And
Let me
he was
stay
right.
in.
He should have been getting the ball.
Yeah, I think the bottom line, I think the implication was that he was saying, "Don't take me out. Let me stay in there. I can help you," and as though he's telling the coach what to
quit running the damn ball.
Yeah. So again, he definitely had a point. But now here's the other side of this too. Taylor Swifties are saying this is a red flag. They say that Travis Kelce shoving the Chiefs coach Andy Reid and screaming in his face is a red flag. Swifty's boyfriend only had 1 catch for 1 yard in the first half of the game, by the way, and then he had, I think, 9 total. But 1 catch in the first half of the game, and one user says, "Man, just like that, I'm suddenly less excited about Travis Kelce. You don't get to ape up someone all aggressive like that because you're frustrated. Taylor, my darling, my love, my lamb, this is a big red flag." Another, "Travis Kelce's a red flag. That aggression isn't what Taylor needs." Another, "Travis Kelce got to do better, man." Travis ran up on one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, shoving him during the Super Bowl. I think that's a story that Jim Nantz and Tony Romo have to address. This is wild, said Jason Whitlock, who's a well-known conservative black commentator, by the way, in case that makes any difference. Romo and Nantz didn't react to it. Said nothing, which is a little surprising. If they said something, I missed it. But here's what did say something. Patrick Mahomes. After Travis Kelce got caught, he said, "Well, I'll just keep it between me." Patrick Mahomes said, "That moment right there, that speaks to the team that we are. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves the game, loves to compete, and Coach Reid wants to compete." Well, he had to stand up for his player.
They care.
Yeah, and that's true.
They care. The other guy, Rice, was doing it too. He was screaming at people because he was wide open when they threw it to Kelce when they shouldn't have thrown it to Kelce. He was wide open. So they do scream and holler a lot on that team.
Yeah. And again, the coach obviously didn't take it to heart or, have anything really negative about it too much.
I think we've seen the crescendo of the Travis Kelce thing, though. I think right now, do we see the waves, gently move into the shoreline? Or do they crash against a rock?
No, it's over.
I think we may have seen the high point.
Yeah, it's got to be over. The season's over. Next fall, if she shows up for a game, it's going to go nuts. But it's not. But this is, it's going to be a long time before that becomes a thing again. And I don't think it'll ever be a thing like before.
Martin's on the phone. He wants to comment on the Swifties.
We got a break? Can we do it now? Or
yeah, we can do it now. We're good.
And I say, Martin. Hey, Martin, you're on the radio, man. Welcome aboard. Happy Monday. What do you think?
It's Happy Monday. So I think the red flag is if the Swifties are trying to dictate the outcome here. You got to remember, it was a Super Bowl day event. How much money do you think is involved in that little occasion?
Yeah.
Somewhere between a whole lot or a whole lot more.
Well, you know what, Bart, listen, I heard today, I haven't seen the figures, and I'll bet they're true. I heard today that apparently the Super Bowl will be the most watched TV program of any kind of all time. And it's only because of Taylor Swift and Kelsey and the thing and the politics and the most popular, most watched TV show of all time.
Have you ever heard of the swimming pool test?
The swimming pool test? No, what's that?
That's when you throw them in the pool and they come out, their hair's back, makeup is washed off. If they still look good, you got to keep her.
All right, now you're talking, Martin. That's my. Remember, guys, never kiss her till you see her without her clothes on. 4:15 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Well, it's just advice, advice.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
All right, my friends, see if you can wrap your head around this one. If you're keeping up, you know that Biden's White House and several federal agencies over which he has control have used their power to tell companies like Facebook or Twitter to kill content on the internet that the White House doesn't like. Apparently, they even tried to get Amazon to stop selling books they didn't like. Coming to the rescue, the House Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. And right now they're looking into Biden's use of artificial intelligence to look for so-called disinformation on the internet. MIT is involved. The University of Wisconsin-Madison, they're involved. University of Michigan, they're involved. It's a program called Trust and Authenticity in Communication Systems. It really is the Biden Ministry of Truth. Now, one of the researchers that was working on this program had this to say: listen carefully. Broad swaths of the public cannot effectively sort truth from fiction online, including and especially military veterans, older adults, military families, and people who read the Bible or the Constitution. So there you have it. Biden and the Democrats are specifically looking at people maybe like you. Do you ever read the Constitution? Do you read the Bible? Are you a veteran? Members of your family in the armed forces? They're watching you, looking for disinformation. So ultimately, they can shut you down. America under Democrats. Wonderful. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Witness the new era of Georgia Tech men's basketball under the guidance of their new head coach, NBA great Damon Stoudemire. Coach Stoudemire has brought the excitement back to the Thriller Dome, and you can be a part of it. Don't miss the next home game presented by PNC Bank when Syracuse visits McCamish Pavilion on Saturday, February 17th at 5:30 p.m. Great seats are still available for purchase, and you can get more information at ramblingrec.com. Hurry up and grab your tickets to experience the thrill and excitement of Georgia Tech basketball. Sting 'em.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
How's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 420. The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and Aretha. Yeah, that's right, baby. Yeah, they got that. Girl could sing. On this day, 1989, Aretha lost a court battle against Broadway producer Ashton Springer, who had sued for $1 million when Aretha failed to turn up for rehearsals for a stage show, Sing Mahalia Sing, blaming her fear of flying for Aretha not showing up. So he sued her for $1 million. Holy smokeroonies. Our birthday list includes Joanna Kearns from Growing Pains, the cougar from, it says here, the Growing Pains cougar. Joanna Kearns is 71. She was a handsome woman. I always thought she was attractive. Nice little blonde, short haircut, kind of a girl next door type. Screamers. 421, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And on this day in history, 1999, President Pervy Raper Bill Clinton got away with it. Yeah, perjury and obstruction of justice, thanks to cowardly Republicans, as always. Monica Lewinsky had testified for the Paula Jones lawsuit against old President Pervy Whip It Out, the Democratic hero, with the Hillary brought him peace stinky fart cabbage, and they pulled it off and threatened to kill everybody if they convicted him, so the Republicans caved and said, oh, sorry, take it back. And in 99, Clinton was found totally innocent. That's how 421 this 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Safe House. I love these guys, Jeff and Mark. You need a safe. You may not know it. Put your Social Security card in there and all your medical records so you won't be like Kimmer the loser. Anyway, they have a showroom in Ackworth, and you can learn more by going to atlantasafehouse.com, which is my best idea. 422. Oh, can I say, Pete Davis, you're doing wiggling. Well, what's a wiggle?
The Daily Mail says that the shooter at the megachurch is a schizophrenic Munchausen by proxy mom, which means she hurts her children in order to get attention to herself.
So this is known? Those Munchausen people are the ones who, the nurses hurt children and try to save them, and there's always something wrong, so they can come on and bring them back to life and stuff. Oh, my God. So they knew this? So how is that possible? How's that person? By the way, who's the 7-year-old kid? Where'd he get the kid? Whose kid is it? And is the kid dead? I mean, they said the kid was not likely to live. I don't know what. From what? Did he shoot her? Did they shoot the boy? Did the cops shoot during the gunfire? I can't believe there's no more information. The cops had a news conference a couple hours ago, and I still don't have more information on it yet, on who the kid is, where he get him. And if they knew about him being a Munchausen, as a Munchausen, I've got a Mauchen.
Munchausen.
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, good Lord. Good freaking Lord. Oh, well. Let's see. Oh, how'd you like to have this happen to you? Travis and Taylor. I'll bet you there were... Oh, there must be 100 stories, but there are 3 or 4 major stories on almost every second of their time over the entire weekend. All eyes on Taylor Swift, who booked it down to the field to congratulate. In case you missed it, here's Trav taking off his hat to kiss and hug Taylor while she says a bunch of encouraging words in his ear. According to Pop Bass on Instagram, Trav greeted Taylor with "Come here, girl," before kissing her. I heard "baby girl," so it's "Come here, baby girl," which is so cool that he said "Come here, baby girl," and gave her a big smack after the game. Travis, and I'm telling you, this is how they're documenting every second of them together. Travis then appears to have taken a break from kissing and hugging Taylor to ask, was it electric? And she responded, it was unbelievable. One of the craziest things I've ever experienced. And then they ended up attending the Chiefs after party following the game, where they were spotted kissing and dancing to Love Story. They were also seen pointing to each other during You Belong With Me, and are multiple angles of them being all cute about it. Yes, Tay was even seen leaving in Travis's black sparkly jacket. Before you ask, yes, it's giving Reputation. All in all, an iconic night for these two and the rest of us. That's only one story. Another one. Pictures of, here's Taylor now spotted entering the stadium before heading through the San Francisco 49ers side where her suite is located. A photo shared on social media highlights the singer carrying a football-shaped bag with the number 87 on it, which, of course, is Travis Kelce's number. And apparently Shaq gave it to her as a present, and it cost $5,000 or something. But again, another lucky number came from Swift's accessories, where they're sporting a gold necklace with a number 87 pendant dangling from it. Just before kickoff, Swift was spotted talking with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell inside her star-studded suite. Now, what possible interest is of that they saw her talking to Roger Goodell? Maybe to set the fix in.
You know what? Yeah, the fix that they were planning to score and everything. Yeah.
Oh, my God. And now I can't believe this. Listen, this is what got me. I can't believe this. Body language expert Bianca Cobb spoke to reporters about Swift's reactions during the game. I'm not making this up. Reaction number 1. In the first quarter moment, she noted, "What a shock." Taylor's mouth dropped wide, her eyebrows arched. She pulled her arms in front of her chest, showing she was surprised by what happened on the field. Look at Mama Kelsey and Blake Lively with similar facial expressions of surprise. Your response can be visceral when you're so engrossed in what you're seeing. Number 2. Swift was clearly enjoying the game during the second quarter, despite the lack of scoring from the Chiefs at one point, lifting her buddy Lively into the air during a play. Blake jumping into Taylor's arms shows pure joy and excitement. When you're happy, it's a natural reaction to pull others up with you. Again, this is a body language for going minute by minute through the game to describe what it means when Taylor Swift reacted to something.
Blake Lively is a very good-looking woman.
Yes, she
and
is.
there was a lot of shots of her yesterday up in the booth. She's Ryan Reynolds' wife, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds went on Twitter today and said, "I hope everybody liked the Deadpool trailer. And by the way, has anybody seen my wife?"
Yeah. Number C, the NFL shared a post of Twitter chugging a drink with Ashley Avragon, a designer and close friend of hers, during a break and play in the second quarter. In their opinion now, this body language, Taylor slammed a beer to calm her nerves, possibly. It's a high-stakes game with her man vying for a third Super Bowl win. But it's also a way to have fun with a friend. Near the end of the second quarter, Swift was joined in her suite by her friend and Show on the Beach collaborator, Lana Del Rey. They were spotted as game cameras nearing halftime. They had a chance to meet with the legendary Sir Paul McCarthy. Early in the third quarter, Swift was singing along with the in-stadium music, playing Viva Las Vegas. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, almost every minute of her entire was documented by a body language expert.
Who was the black chick with the orange hair who literally was doing satanic hand gestures in the booth while wearing a cross upside down?
That I don't know. I did not see that. I did not see any of that. Holy smokes.
She was doing this satanic stuff.
Really?
And she's wearing a cross upside down. What was that all about?
In their booth? In the same booth?
Sitting next to her.
Oh, my Lord. I don't think
her name is Ice Spice.
Ice Spice?
Ice Spice,
and what's her deal there,
She's
Flounder?
some new, rap or alternative top 40 girl. I mean, she just shows her body off. She's not talented.
Well, I wonder how'd she get in there?
She's friends with Taylor Swift.
Well, I guess then Taylor.
But yeah, like Pete said, she had this big devil medallion on, and she was doing all kinds of devil signs in the box throughout the game.
Jeez, that's kind of gross.
They're doing it right out in the open now. I mean, it's
good Lord. Let's see. Halftime here. By the way, I even took a note of when I saw Taylor Swift during the game. I didn't watch any halftime show, but I did. Did we do the prop bets? Did you keep track of prop bets? I'll bet we forgot. I've still got my list. I know you didn't keep track of it.
Let me see if I still have the list.
Anyway, I did keep track of how many times and for how long I saw Taylor Swift during the game. For the record, now I didn't see every second, but for the record, I wrote down, where the hell is it now? My first one. Damn it. Oh, now I've got it
Do
here.
you have your
somewhere.
list of prop bets there?
Oh, here we go. I saw Taylor in the second quarter at the 12:01 mark. In the second quarter, I saw Taylor Swift, and then I saw her. That was the first time was in the second quarter, and then the second time I saw Taylor Swift during the game was at with 30 seconds to go in the halftime, before halftime. So the second quarter at 12:01, and then 30 seconds before the half. Only twice did they show Taylor Swift during the game. So how can people? We're all freaked out about, oh, you could ruin the game for me. Twice for like 4 seconds. So there you are. Oh, sorry. All right.
Apologist.
I know. Oh, by the way, now they're freaked out about Taylor and Travis candles. Dear Lord. We'll get to that. Also,
blasphemy.
Yeah, and President White Trash, also President Brain Dead, also is complaining and trying to get in on the meme business with what's going on politically. 4:30. It's a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Happy Monday, and we got so much more, including Flounders Funnies coming up here very shortly. I promise.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
$20+ million of research went into the fair tax. The bill is still before the Congress, but it's really going nowhere. Why? 2 reasons. It would have been the largest transfer of power from the federal government to the people in the history of this country. Politicians will not stand for that. The people had to demand it, but the people were busier demanding more wins from their professional football team and more goodies from the government paid for by somebody else. Have a happy tax season.
Bortz weighs in with commentary every day and is live with the Morning Extra on Tuesdays. Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
What are your plans for your business this year? Hey, it's Tug. Do you want to expand and grow? Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you got a new person to deal with? You have to start all over again? You don't have that with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they want to know you. Unlike big banks, they want to partner with you. The Frost family knows the patterns. They know the ebbs and flows. They know business. Get to know them at FirstLibertyGA.com. Building a building, buying a franchise, expanding. Reach out to them. Spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. You do that at FirstLibertyGA.com. And by the way, if you're a young banker and want to work with a team that is faith-friendly and has a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to them today. First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Pete Andrews, CEO of Reconnect. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Dun, 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 dun. 4:35 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Look out. This is the second time today we're going to be talking about Whiskey A Go-Go. It was on this day in 1977. Blondie, Tom Petty, and the Ramones and the Heartbreakers were all appearing at a Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A. In 1977 on this day. The whiskey played an important role in many musical careers. During the 60s, the Byrds, Buffalo Springfield, Love were regulars. Doors were the house band at Whiskey A Go-Go for quite a while. I didn't know that. And let's see, our birthday list includes actor Josh Brolin. I'm sorry? What's the matter?
Nothing.
Oh, I heard something. Was that one of those didn't know the mic was on things?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were trying to get my attention. Because we're going to do a Flounders Funny here in a second. First, Josh Brolin, 56 years old today. He was Thanos in the Avengers Infinity War and Cable in Deadpool 2. But didn't he play George Bush in the movie about the president or something? Or was that somebody else? Josh Brolin. I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
I don't remember. No big deal. And on this day in history, 2004, Mattel Toy Corporation announced that Ken and Barbie were breaking up. Obviously, he caught her, but anyway, they first met during a TV commercial in 1961, which he's now trying to forget because of the years of the... 4:37 here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230 if you'd like. Let's see. We got Pete's Tweets coming up. We'll do Flounders Funny. Let's do a little Super Bowl commercial thing here, Flounder. Let's do the one with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. State Farm had these two together after their 1988 blockbuster movie Twins and the 94 comedy Junior. And it's a running gag as Arnold Schwarzenegger can't speak the King's English yet. Do we have a little...
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut. Hey, Arnold, I'm hearing neighbor. It's neighbor.
That's what I said. Neighbor.
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 Hey, let's go again.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut.
Now what?
Neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor. Just like it's written on the paper. Neighbor.
Still no.
Neighbor.
Neighbor.
Bar.
Bar. Bar. Cut. Arnold, got a bit of a script change. You'll love this.
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We are a backstabber. I am a backstabber.
There's only one Christopher Walken, and the other one is the one in the driving machine. And this one, there's only one. I don't know who it was here, Arnie, and whatever he goes. DeVito showing him how to cut up and save the day, gearing himself for a pep talk. Hopkins dons Rex the Dragon costume and the football club's mascot deal. Now hear me roar popped out of a giant red dragon head running along the field. Anyway, kind of bizarre. They had some goofy.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't
what is
know.
that?
I don't know. That was Danny DeVito. And Schwarzenegger is DeVito tried to show him how to. Yeah, that was the State Farm neighbor one.
That wasn't any commercial I saw. They had a second one where Schwarzenegger goes, "Get me out of the chopper."
Yeah, that's there. I guess that. Let's see. popping out of a giant red dragon head, running along the field as a crowd erupts and cheers. Ironically, it was a cold brew that burst. I don't know. They got that mixed up here. Anyway, whatever. They had, there were so many. I took notes of almost all of these. In fact, I didn't see this one, but it got a little political, and it's over the cleansing bar known as Dove, which is actually, soap. Now, hold on, I got to get my phone thing here because I have a reaction from, here we go. Yeah, here we go. The Dove Super Bowl ad went like this. It had targeting the surge in young women watching the Super Bowl linked to Taylor Swift. And again, I haven't seen the official figures, but I heard this morning that the Super Bowl will apparently be the most watched TV program of any kind of all time. And it has to be because of the swarm in popularity of the Taylor Swift situation with her boyfriend. Okay, they knew the audience would be expanding, especially the young people, so the ad for Dove, D-O-V-E, the soap, begins with a song, It's the Hard Knock Life, by clips of girls having mishaps playing sports. Then a young girl is seen examining herself in the mirror to push home the message, poor body image leads to girls quitting sports, not the slip-ups. Okay, they're pushing the image that is poor body image is why you quit sports, not because you make mistakes. Dove's long-running body positivity campaign, launched in 2004, it says here, aiming to build confidence among women and young children. Well, now, wait a minute. Vivek Ramaswamy, former presidential candidate, now supporting Donald Trump, says, now, wait a minute. Dove's feigned concern that 45% of girls quit sports by age 14 in its sanctimonious ad last night, yet Dove also goes out of its way to publicly celebrate men competing in women's sports. Classic Unilever trick. Like when they waxed eloquent about systemic racism while quietly allowing the deaths and rapes of their Kenyan tea plantation workers, and then use their company's relationship with the United Nations in their cover-up act. Vivek saying, I exposed that in Woke Inc., and last night's fake ad is just another example of how these faux capitalists play their games. Another one, here's to more trans representation in sports. Paul, shame on Dove for their continued attempts to cancel women. We see through their marketing gimmicks and attempts to stay on both sides of the issue. Dove, another woke company, going to see their value plummet because they refuse to acknowledge men cannot be women. The divine feminine is the lifeline of humanity, telling women they don't actually exist. Men can compete against them, and a set of clothing is what defines them. We were created by God specifically to counteract all of the wonders men were also created for. We are the yin to their yang. Denying young girls this knowledge to empower their divine right is criminal. Protect our girls. Wow. And again, if you're asking for it, you want to make a big deal saying, well, we need to do better for our girls, then stop saying boys can be girls and the girls don't have the right to complain when they walk in there with their tallywhackers hanging out in the freaking locker room. You can't have it both ways there, Dovey-Dove. And by the way, I don't like your soap. Sorry. 442. I'd rather use lye. Use old-fashioned lye. I take some of the beef fat that I saved whenever I have something to eat with a meat steak, and I save the beef fat, and I put it off to the side in a bucket, and then later on I bring it in and I scrub with it. And rather do your stupid Dove. Sorry. 443 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. A lot of these ads to talk about today. Also, how President Stupid Face is trying to get in on it. Oh, God. Well, what did I... Oh, and Flounder's funny. What do you got there, Flounder?
I don't know whether I'm a good driver or a bad driver, but I do know that one steering wheel means one driver, okay? Shush, shush. Not to hear my wife tell it. Phil, even a fighter pilot has a wingman. Well, yeah, but I don't think he warns the pilot by screaming out. Well, I get nervous. I don't know what to say. Well, how about car?
I played this Friday, didn't I?
Yeah, that's all right.
Let me get the other one here. No,
all right, that's no problem. 444 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. My
parents have a dark sense of humor. Yesterday, they told me that I really wasn't adopted. This after 20 years of searching for my real parents. They're actually in San Francisco right now on vacation. They sent me a postcard of Alcatraz. On the back, it said, "Wish you were there." One day, a woman came up to my desk and said, "Hey, can I use the phone, please?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." She goes, "Do I have to dial 9?" I said, I don't know who you're calling." "You calling the cops?" "Start with 9. I used to work in a lighthouse. I got fired for making shadow puppets. Ships kept crashing into the rocks, trying to avoid the big giant bunnies.
I'm trying to remember what I used to be able to make in a shadow puppet. I think I used to make a long. I think I could make a rabbit. I think I could make a rabbit with the 2 fingers up over your fist and then oh my God. Anyway, 4:45. Come, we'll talk about some prop bets we made on last Friday. See whether anything came true. If we can figure it out. Coming up next, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounders. 4:45 already on 106.3.
Your drive home has never been better. The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. And here's what you missed.
Okay, the Marine Corps budget, I think, is something like $50 billion a year. Okay, for the entire Marine Corps, for 1 year is $50 billion. The budget bill they're doing now for Ukraine for 1 year is $60 billion.
Yeah.
More than the entire Marine Corps.
That's our money they're wasting over there.
And by the way, there's also billions going to what they call the Hamas-Palestinian Refugee Safety Program. They're going to be sponsoring the terrorists.
Well, we already are. We're sponsoring both sides of the war.
Exactly.
The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder are only on Extra 106.3 FM. And listen anytime on the Extra app.
Spring is right around the corner, and the folks at Howard Brothers are gearing up. If you need a new mower in 2024, Howard Brothers and Skag have it for you. Skag zero-turn mowers and Skag walk-behind mowers are a perfect solution for pro landscapers and homeowners who want to show off the amazing stripes of the lawns they manage. Howard Brothers' biggest one-day sale of the year is on Wednesday, March 6th. It's a great time to add a Skag to your fleet or to your garage. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Skag and Howard Brothers.
The Atlanta Braves have launched Braves Country Baseball and Softball, a youth organization for kids 5 through 12 years old, and are looking for local rec leagues across the Southeast to join. Braves Country Baseball and Softball will consist of spring season league play and the chance for kids to represent their local communities in district, regional, and state tournaments, with all roads leading to Atlanta for the championships. Visit Braves.com/BCBS before the March 1st deadline to join the 50 leagues that have already committed.
This Valentine's Day, treat your special someone to a spa day at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy. Voted Best Day Spa by Atlanta Magazine. Give the gift of love and relaxation with a gift card they can use for massages, facials, body therapies, and more. Your loved one can unwind and let their stress melt away with a spa day at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy. Visit them today. They have 8 locations around Atlanta or shop online anytime at naturalbody.com.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on Extra 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I got a little thing we're going to play for you here maybe a little later if we can get it. First, a little Al Green with a Kimmer Pete and Flounder on your Monday. I think it was Al Green that I saw during the Olympics, who was down at the, what was the name of that club they had? They had the opened up down by the
House of Blues.
House of Blues.
Which is now the Tabernacle.
Which is now the House of Blues. And Al Green was there, and he threw out roses to the crowd, and I got one. I grabbed it from somebody else, and, well, never mind what I did with it. I'm going to remember that part of it, 450. Al Green went to number 1 on the singles chart with Let's Stay Together. The only U.S. chart topper, ranked 60th greatest song of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. On their list of 500 greatest songs, Tina Turner had a hit with a song in 1984. Let's Stay Together, Al Green. And again, we never did finish up our top 10 worst songs of the 70s. We'll probably get
I got number 1 still sitting right here.
Sitting right there. Anytime
from 6 months ago.
We want to do it. Our birthday list includes Michael McDonald, 72 years old. I'm going to be there. Your kids probably had no idea who he was till the 40-year-old Virgin came out, and Paul Rudd spoke this classic line, "If I have to hear Mo be there one more time, I'm going to Mo burn this place to the ground." I remember that in the TV, in the sales shop. I remember with that big, tall blonde from Glee, and she was in Best in Show, the lesbian who's a really, really funny actress, and she's in all those ones with the crew in there. What's her name? I can't remember.
Lynch.
Jane Lynch. And she was in the 40-year-old version, and she says, I've had this body since I was 12. She said, I'll burst into your dreams or something. And he said, I'm going to keep that in mind, because she found out he was a virgin, so she wanted to be God. Anyway, 452 with the Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Let's do some. You want to do prop bets? You have your list of prop bets? On Friday, we made a couple of bets. I kept my list, but I can't remember, and I can't read my writing. One of them was coin flip tails. I said no. Would the coin flip be tails? And I said no. And the coin flip, I think, you remember what the coin flip was? First coin flip?
I think it was tails.
Well, then I got that wrong. Would somebody wear white boots? Reba McEntire, under 90 seconds. Do we keep track of that? He's gone again. He's like a 20-second delay here all of a sudden up in the mountains. I don't know what the hell's going on. There was whether she sang under 90 seconds.
Let me see. I got it right here. So she sang, looks like it was just over 2 minutes.
So I said, was it under 90 seconds? And I said no. So I got that one right. Would she wear white boots? I don't have any idea. Did she wear white boots?
No.
No, she didn't. And I said yes. Well, then I got that one wrong. And then, now I have something here that says Team Rough wins Team Rough wins. RUFF.
Puppy Bowl.
Oh, the Puppy Bowl. Who won the Puppy Bowl? Do we know? We don't know.
No.
All right. If there was a Gatorade bath, would it be orange Gatorade? And I said yes. We don't know.
I think it was purple.
Don't know.
That was the other guess. Would it be orange or purple? And I think it might have been about Usher's song. By the way, what'd you think? Did you watch the halftime? I didn't watch any of the halftime at all. Was it a good thing or a stupid thing?
It was hip hop. It was Usher, Ludacris. It was kind of very Atlanta oriented, I guess you could say, because Usher's from Atlanta, Ludacris is from Atlanta, Little John's from Atlanta.
Anybody else watching it wouldn't have no clue he was from Atlanta. I heard him mention Atlanta once. I had no clue for watching that he was from Atlanta.
I'll bet most people know that. I don't know. But I did see some highlights on the news and stuff, and they had skaters and uniforms and costume. And in fact, I read one commentary article that said, ironically, that baby boomers, or maybe not baby boomers, one right after us, sort of, grown adults, had kind of the same reaction as the 20-somethings for different reasons about that it was a great show. Do people call it a great show? I
guess it was trending in the right direction. Again, it wasn't. I still think Prince was the best halftime show ever, but this one was, I guess you could call it entertaining.
I don't think I've ever actually watched a halftime show. I just don't have any interest in. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they get it done. I mean, it's an enormous accomplishment for all the stuff and the people and oh my God. I mean, you got to give them credit for. I mean, it's remarkable. Yeah. The other prop bet was the time that Tay would be over or under on the screen, 28 and a half seconds. And I'll bet during the game it was less than that. I only saw her twice. Yeah. And I think they deliberately didn't want to have a thing going, and so they, which made sense. And again, people are complaining. How could you complain about? Well, anyway, I've mentioned it before. It's a love story, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's a love story. Leave them alone. My God, how could anybody be all upset over this whole thing? I mean, I don't understand it. My God, life's too short and the world's too hard. And the other thing was whether they would kiss on the field. And I think they did kiss on the field, clearly. So,
oh, yeah.
And I say, yeah. So, anyway, there's just things that are going on here on the scoop. A couple of another funny commercial I thought was pretty interesting was, now I can't find it. Uber Eats. Jennifer Aniston, David Schwimmer, and David and Victoria Beckham playing themselves for Uber Eats, probably the most celebrity-packed Super Bowl ad. It plays out the premise that to remember what Uber Eats delivers, you have to forget something to make a little room in your brain. And so then it went on from one thing. Each person forgot something, and they forgot something down the line. So Jennifer Aniston forgets who David Schwimmer is. Victoria Beckham forgets the name of the Spice Girls, and it kept going. It was a pretty cute commercial. I mean, it was cute. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I mentioned here the spitting Reese's cup. I thought was cool. By the way, Flounders sent me an ad. Of course, as you know, I'm a crybaby when it comes to certain commercials. Flounders sent me an ad right before the game started. Although I didn't see this ad. Was this ad in the game?
I'm not sure. It was trending on Twitter right before the show.
Okay. And the ad was of a guy, like a next-door neighbor, and he's working on something in the yard or whatever, and the mother and kids come out of their garage and see that somebody had sprayed no Jews or swastika and stuff like that on her garage door. And now I'm a little confused. When she grabbed her daughter and said, "Quick, honey, let's go." Did she think that the neighbor did it?
No, she didn't want her daughter to see.
Didn't want her daughter to see. Okay,
to see the sign on the garage.
I wasn't quite clear whether, because that would have made a whole different thing. It would have been even more important at the end. Anyway, whether or not it had. Okay, so the woman comes out. Somebody had spray painted Nazi, no Jews, and things like that. And so the mother quickly gets the girl away, and they take off. The next scene you see, the mother comes back to the house, and the garage door is clearly freshly painted white, all clean and white. And there's a shot of the shoes of the next door neighbor, and they are splattered with white paint. And so the mother looks at him and mouths, "Thank you." And I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. It was a very touching commercial. I'm sorry. I'm very touching commercial. And it said "Stop the Hate." It was for "Stop the Hate" or whatever. Oh, they did another one about Jesus washing feet and stuff. I really didn't like that one. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, having a Catholic priest washing what was a transgender or gay guy or something. It was okay.
Come on, it's just pushing a little pushing. I don't like pushing. Now the other one that did, I don't mind telling you this, and Pete laughed at me already. The little ice skater, the commercial for Kia. They show a little girl's performing a major performance of some kind, and she's about 10, and she's a magnificent skater, and she's twirling in the spotlight. And first of all, they show the audience, they show her father and an empty chair. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, the little girl's mother's not going to be there because she's out cheating with her boyfriend. And the daddy's all there by himself with a little girl. Well, then they show the little girl's performance, and she's sad because there's an empty chair. And then it turns out they get in the car to the Kia and drive through the mountains where it's all snowy and no one else can get through. And they get to her grandfather's house, and grandfather's housebound. He can't get out. He couldn't do anything. So they have her perform in a new skating rink with lights all over his front yard suddenly. And she's skating to this thing, and the grandpa's looking, and I started weeping.
Yeah, when did they put all those lights up?
I know it doesn't make sense. They couldn't have done it.
We can all relate. Everybody's got an ice pond in their front yard in their mansion in the mountains.
Remind me to tell you at 5:04 about the ice pond and the little cat with the killer feet and Flounders.
I will.
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3 FM.
A joint appeal for peace. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden says he's working night and day on a hostage deal between Israel and Hamas that could lead to a period of calm for at least 6 weeks.
The United States will do everything possible to make it happen.
He's also pressing Israel for a credible plan to ensure civilian safety in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, where Israel rescued 2 hostages overnight, but where Israel has said Hamas battalions remain.
Many people there have been displaced multiple times, fleeing the violence to the north, and now they're packed into Rafah, exposed and vulnerable. They need to be protected.
The president speaking a short time ago after a White House meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah.
7 decades of occupation, death, and destruction have proven beyond any doubt that there can be no peace without a political horizon.
He's appealing for a lasting ceasefire and warning that restrictions on aid to Gaza are leading to inhumane conditions. Today's meeting as the administration continues to play down concerns about the president's age, energy, and memory.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre spends countless hours with President Biden and says of his mental fitness.
He is sharp. He is on top of things. When we have meetings with him, with his staff, he's constantly pushing us, trying to get more information.
For a second straight week, officials here are answering questions about a special counsel's report describing memory lapses of the president and characterized him as a well-meaning elderly man.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Former President Trump has just appealed an immunity case to the U.S. Supreme Court, asking justices to extend a delay in his election interference trial as he claims he's immune from prosecution, just days after the court heard a separate appeal over an effort to kick him off the ballot in Colorado. America is listening to Fox News.
The Fed is setting a digital dollar control trap. The new FedNow system might sound modern and convenient, but the truth is it's all about surveillance and control. Don't be fooled. Secure your assets right now with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, former advisor to Donald Trump. And in these times of uncertainty, I believe the best way to defend your savings is to use tangible assets, which is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, because gold has a 5,000-year track record as the ultimate guardian of wealth. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text PROTECT to the number 989898. Text PROTECT to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the killer. Don't be scared. 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls. 106.3. Happy Monday. I hope the worst of the storm is over. I don't know. I can't really tell much going on here, but we've had a lot of rain, and watch for flooding and things like that. Just got to be careful as you're driving along. Again, if you see, by the way, running water going across a road or something, and you think it may not be any big deal, I can promise you this: if there is as little as 3 or 4 inches of water, it can affect your car. I mean, you really have to be.
When I was in high school, I was taking a friend home, and it was after a big flood, and it was a big hilly neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we were going past the stop sign, and we saw a guy in a Jaguar stuck in the middle. His engine was flooded.
Yeah.
Car was ruined.
Doesn't take much. Let's see.
We may have called him a name or two as well.
As you should, especially in a Jaguar. Which one of my favorite cars I ever owned. When I got my first second job, I was married to my favorite ex-wife, my starter wife, one who did love me, and I got a second job. I was working 7 days a week, and she let me buy a used Jaguar, an old Jaguar convertible, which I'd always wanted as a kid. So I bought a 1966 XKE convertible, back with the covered headlights on the front, oh God, was that a beautiful car. Black 66 XKE. And it was a piece of junk. And back then, they were just crappy cars. It had 3 carburetors, but it had, the carburetors were screwed on with a little divot thing on the top. Every time you goosed it, if I goosed it at all 3 carburetors would pop the top off, and I'd have to pull over and screw them back on again. But man, I loved that car. It wasn't a daily driver, and there's no air conditioning or anything, and this was in New Orleans. It was horrible. But anyway, now I'm talking about, XK with a Flounder. By the way, speaking of the commercials, and I'm going to tell you about, what did I tell you to remind me of right before the news? I was going to say at 5:03. Oh my God. Oh crap! What was it?
I don't remember. Gosh darn, I don't remember.
Oh crap! No, you remember. You won't kind of tell me. Oh, crap. It was something I can relate to it because I had a story. What was I just talking about? Oh, my God, right before the news.
Mr. President, I don't know.
Oh, I can't believe I did this. I got to start writing stuff down. I said because it happened to me. What the hell was it?
Do you want me to remind you?
Yes. What?
The ice pond.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I'll remember that now. I'll get to that now. A couple things. We were talking about some of the Super Bowl commercials. We'll get to that. So, in case if you just joined us, and I don't know what the news said, I was busy. I didn't listen to the first part of the news. That tranny in Houston, Texas, who opened fire at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church, Joel was not there, is a guy, identifies as a girl. He's a tranny with a long record. He's been in trouble with the cops before, brought an AR-15 and a 7-year-old boy into the church and started shooting. Luckily, there were guns in the church. 2 security guards, off-duty cops with guns, killed the scumbag. Now, again, this is why it would be okay, as far as I'm concerned, always to have a gun in church. And I can tell you this, for as long as I can remember, if I've been in church, I've got a gun on me. Whether they knew it or not, and everybody else knew it or not, I had a gun on me. Because. And thank God, even the chief of police said, thank God those 2 guys with guns stopped the tranny could have murdered everybody. And I don't know about the 7-year-old boy, who he was, where he came from. He was, they say here, he was in critical condition. The child reportedly is not expected to survive. I haven't heard anything since then. Again, I wish I knew more, and I don't. But as soon as we find out something, we'll tell you. So we got that going for us. Also, there's actually a protest over the Super Bowl and all the shenanigans going on with it for a small business in Wisconsin called the Whitefish Bay Business. And they're celebrating the Swifties Super Bowl business with selling products to commemorate the Super Bowl, including a Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift themed prayer candles. And prayer candles in honor of Travis and Taylor Swift. And the reaction was, I just learned of your disgusting celebrity prayer candles depicting immoral celebrities instead of our Lord Jesus and his Holy Mother. How low can you go? Please stop selling these blasphemous candles with celebrities. I take offense by mocking my faith. On and on and on. And the guy says, hey, you know what? If you're part of this group and you see this, please know you aren't changing anything by this harassment. I will still sell these candles, and I don't care if you think it's sacrilegious. He also was selling candles, including Ryan Gosling, Alex Trebek, Keanu Reeves. I mean, come on, give me a break. So he says, I'm not paying attention to that stuff. Oh, one thing now, Pete, I can't find the commercial. I have a list of stuff on these commercials, and I'm trying to find the one that featured Scarlett Johansson, made kind of a appearance quickly at the end of it.
Yeah.
And now I can't find it. I almost didn't recognize her. She's changed. Did she get face work done? She did something to her face.
I don't think so.
Eminem, Dan Marino, Terrell Owens, and Bruce Smith.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson even makes a guest appearance.
M&M's.
Yeah, and for M&M's star-studded chocolatey company, and I almost didn't recognize her. Whatever. I just hope she's not doing something stupid. She's only, 30? Oh, my God. Let's see. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of commercial there. All right, 5:09 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Holy crap, it's sports coming up. President White Trash tried to get in on all the fun. Today at a meeting, he was talking to some people about electric cars, some kind of county commissioner's municipality organization for electric vehicles or something. And he said, well, I know a lot of you say I look old, but I can remember that. I can sure remember they're trying to make a joke about his memory lapses and so forth. And again, for the record, these are not gaffes. These are mental lapses. It's not funny that he says, "Oh, he's the gaff machine." No, that's not. It's not a gaff. He's lost it. He's having mental gaffes. And by the way, after the game, Biden posted just like we drew it up on X and Instagram, along with an image of the Dark Brandon meme with the president having red lasers for eyes. It's like the far out there conspiracy that was crafted leading up to the Super Bowl. And again, this is a takeoff on Let's Go Brandon. And now they have the Dark Brandon making fun of conservatives, saying that it was all a fix and stuff like that. I mean, it's just getting kind of silly, really. But let me ask you this. I couldn't believe this also. President showers with daughter. Also, he did two things. He posted a comment he wouldn't go be interviewed in the Super Bowl like all the presidents have done. He wouldn't be interviewed, but he posted a complaint message complaining about companies that are now shrinkflation, where they put fewer things in their products and charge the same price, so they save money that way. Well, he complained about that. He's complaining about America's businessmen and grocers and companies, stuff like that, turning them against him, which is fine by me. And the other thing was, he actually went on TikTok, and somebody was firing questions at him on TikTok, which I couldn't believe. One, because they banned TikTok from the federal government, and secondly, they were going quite, halftime or game, and boom, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to screw it up, which I took a real chance on that. But again, TikTok, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, his campaign released a video of him saying, hey, we're on TikTok now. TikTok that he has banned the government to use.
It's unbelievable. Holy smokes. Oh, man. I mean, by the way, we're going to go to Pete Sports Center. Can I ask you a question? I don't understand. I'm going to get to my phone here. All of a sudden, over the weekend, when I'm going to get to my Facebook page. Okay, I'm getting my Facebook. I'm opening up the Kimmer's Facebook page. Okay, now if you can see me on YouTube, I'm going to just swipe up. Okay, I'm just going to swipe up. I'm going to with my finger swiping up. And now listen to this. Hear that? Did you hear that? Here, I'll do it again. I'm swiping. I'm swiping like 10 at a time. What the hell is that? TikTok. All of a sudden, once in a while, when it goes by something on my Facebook page, it does that little dick. What the hell is that? Where did that come from?
It's called a sound effect.
It's a tweet.
But what? That's not a tweet. I'm scrolling through my Facebook things. So, and I didn't put a my Facebook page, and I'm just scrolling up, Where did that noise come from? It's never. I've never heard that noise in my life, and it hurts my ear rockets. It's very annoying. I've never heard that little squeak before. I'm just scrolling up. Where did that come from? And it stopped on Pet Suites of Atlanta, Johns Creek, of an ad. I'll scroll up again here. Oh, and that was for carbon-free energy constellations. I got to get rid of this noise. It's driving me nuts. It hurts my ears.
Well, just don't go into Facebook.
Oh, yeah, there's an idea. Give up Facebook. Now, why didn't I
give
think
up
of that?
social media.
God,
Most people like us are addicted to it.
And
So
I should
get off it.
Oh, my God, I should get off that. I should get off the radio. I quit. Good night, everybody. That'll solve everything. Oh, no, wait, I can't. That'd be silly. 5:13. Holy crap, it's sports is next. Rolling out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
Your job is to listen to this radio show so that you know how to navigate the future. This is not power. Okay, the power's already been sucked up by the corporations and everyone else who's really in charge. Your job and the reason why you listen to this station and this show is to know how to navigate what the current situation is going to be and know when it's changing.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
What's your retirement plan? Master Plan Retirement Consultants specialize in constructing plans designed to meet the challenges you could face over the course of a retirement. As holistic retirement planners, we cover tax, income, Social Security, legacy, healthcare, and long-term care planning. Our strategies are designed to maximize your retirement savings and income while minimizing taxes and protecting your assets from forces that could disrupt your retirement, providing peace of mind. A fiduciary advisory firm, Master Plan Retirement, works with you to create the potential for a sustainable retirement and a legacy to be remembered. Join us on our weekly radio show, Retirement Roadmap, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on Extra 106.3 as we discuss retirement topics for today's financial environment. Episodes can also be found on YouTube and on your podcast platform. Find us at masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Job seekers, stop the endless job hunt. The Blue Collar Recruiter is your key to the career you deserve. Are you a skilled worker seeking the right opportunity? Look no further. We connect you with employers who appreciate your dedication and expertise. Technicians, electricians, plumbers, welders, and more. We've got it all, and opportunities are just waiting for you. So skip the frustration and let us guide you to your next job. Call the Blue Collar Recruiter, 678-916-6145, or visit thebluecollarrecruiter.com.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
The legend Neil Borch sees only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Listen carefully. Broad swaths of the public cannot effectively sort truth from fiction online, including and especially military, veterans, older adults, and people who read the Bible or the Constitution. Biden and the Democrats are specifically looking at people maybe like you. Do you ever read the Constitution? Do you read the Bible? Are you a veteran? Members of your family in the armed forces? They're watching you, looking for disinformation. So ultimately, they can shut you down. America under Democrats.
Sports weighs in with commentary every day and is live with the Morning Extra on Tuesdays. Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
Look out. Update, Fanny the Floozy is going to have to explain herself. She did not get away with it after a court hearing today. Hey, it's a Kim Pete and Flounders. I got some birthdays in sports. I got a little history thing. And now, after the big game, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City! And this was the Andy Reid special. This was the...
Yay! Tony Romo and Jim Nantz there. Jim Nantz is past his prime. Romo is past his expiration date. Time to break up the team. Let's go. Let's go.
At first, I thought I thought Tony Romo, when I first heard him, when he first started, man, he was calling play. The quarterback's going to roll out to the right and throw it to the split end over the center. I mean, he knew it was unbelievable. And then I don't know what happened. Change.
Yeah, he sucks now.
Yeah.
That's what happened there.
He's getting ripped, that's for sure.
The big football news today that everybody's talking about, of course, is the Steelers getting rid of Mitchell Trubisky. I'm sure that's just everybody's on everybody's lips at this moment. Travis Kelce had a point about Andy Reid running the damn ball too much and not throwing to him, but not only verbally abusing, but physically contacting a 65-year-old head coach, nearly knocking him over. Pure thuggishness. Many fans on social media wanted him benched, but that was not going to happen in the Super Bowl. But we may have seen the crescendo of Kelce mania yesterday because the Swifties, a lot of them liberal women, shocked by watching him lose his temper like that and getting violent, saying it's a red flag for Taylor should he ever get angry with her. He lost a lot of women fans yesterday, in my opinion. And one tweeter blamed the outburst on roid rage, another on Pfizer rage from taking that useless COVID clot shot that he's such a whore for. The wave is crested, in my opinion. It's only left to see if it gently eases into the shore or crashes against the rocks. Either way, get the popcorn because they're both going to be back next year.
Yes, they will. Well, presumably, he's going to ask her to marry him this summer. On their anniversary of their first date.
No, I meant Andy Reid.
Oh, yeah.
I meant Andy Reid and Travis.
Oh, yeah, he's coming.
Yeah,
he's
coming back.
Definitely coming back. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's smart on him to come back because if they break up over the summer and he doesn't have anything to do come fall, he's going to be really miserable. So it's really smart of him to say he's coming back for one more year, even though I think the dynasty's kind of fading a little bit here on that. I don't think they'll win it again next year. That's just my opinion. The Niners got bit by the injury bug. Greenlaw going down with that Achilles tear. It was so sad to watch that go because he was so hyped up for that first part of the game, jumping up and down on every play and just going nuts, and he blows his Achilles coming onto the field.
I couldn't believe it. I made a note of myself. I said, oh, my God, the guy was coming onto the field to play. And he pulled, holy smokes.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Dominique Wilkins was actually doing something on the court when his happened. But for this, he was just coming onto the field.
Brutal.
And it blew. Debo Samuels tweaked his hamstring, which is very painful. But he was out there playing after that, so you got to hand it to him as well. I don't hate the 49ers. I'm not a big Kyle Shanahan fan. And let's face it, he's blown 2 Super Bowl leads now of double digits.
Yeah, but boy, I'll tell you, that trick play for that first touchdown, holy cow. I can't believe they pulled that off.
Yeah,
and it was pretty good. Creative, that's for sure.
You know, I said 2. He's actually blown 3. One is the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, so he's actually blown 3 double-digit leads in the Super Bowl, and that's not good there. KC didn't help their own cause as Mahomes looked slow and off at first. I don't know. He doesn't have that quick burst that he used to. He used to go up the middle. He'd miss somebody or he'd high step, and now they were catching him, except for maybe that 130-yard run. He'd go take it off, and they called him pretty quick because the 49ers are really good, the D-line.
Yeah.
So I think both of those teams will be back next year. In fact, we'll talk about that in just a second. Kelce, let's talk about this. When he threw with about 10 seconds left in regulation, and he threw to Kelce, and Rice was wide open in the middle. That whole thing about you got to throw it to Travis, damn near cost him a Super Bowl right there.
Yeah. It was like 3 yards short or something. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and he was covered as well by that. The 49ers are going to be good again, but they can't expect Christian McCaffrey to play a whole season without a lot of injuries because that's usually his M.O. And this year he's almost injury-free. He did have a little time off, but he's not going to lead the leading rushing again or he'll be hurt. That's just the way he is. I mean, he's a physical runner. Yeah. He did everything. And it's sad to see the guys on the bench who lose and the stuff, the confetti come down on top of them and they just sit there covered by
sad.
it.
Yeah.
The sports books took a bath with KC winning in OT, and they have the same two teams meeting up in the Super Bowl next year already. That's the opening odds.
Really?
Same two.
I'll be darned. Well,
yeah. And with the end of the Super Bowl comes the beginning of baseball season. The Braves hold their first full squad workout in just 8 days next Tuesday.
Holy God.
See you
the
next
first
Tuesday.
full squad workout?
Yes, sir. Next Tuesday.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Maybe we could work out some deal to be down in North Point.
We probably could do something in that area. I would think so. Maybe. We could drive down there. How far? That's not a 10-hour drive or something. We could drive the hell right down
Tampa.
There. Yeah. Well,
it's 8 hours. 8 hours to Tampa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that far. I'm thinking about going to where Palm Beach Gardens is a lot farther. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. A lot farther.
Let's do it.
The fans at the Phoenix Open got so unruly over the weekend that alcohol sales had to be cut off. Several golfers had verbal altercations with them.
Yeah.
Zach Johnson, Jordan Spieth, and Billy Horschel were some of the golfers who yelled and cussed at the fans during the backswings. This is the only tournament that allows the crowd to get so loud. Fun to watch. Sitting at the bar Saturday night, everybody was enjoying watching it. They loved that thing. One guy next to me from Louisiana said, "This is my bucket list to go to the Phoenix Open and yell at these guys." So if the golfers don't like the noise, take the week off. It's just 1 week a year. The fans love it. And I'm sorry, but the golf ball sits there until you're ready to hit it.
Right. And by the way,
it's not like they're screaming at you.
They asked for this. The golfers used to love this. And then all of a sudden now they're getting all Mr. Bippity Boppity. Oh, we were talking about backs. Well, that's the point. It's the 16th hole. There's only one hole in all of golfdom where this is a thing. So suck it up and, they're going to talk and scream during your backswing. So what, you can't handle that? Give me a break. God, there ought to be full contact golf as far as I would love to see. Where you get to have one shot for the guy's ribs from behind. He's going to say you got to be really quick on the backswing because he's coming at you. You know what I mean? How fun would that be?
So you got Noonan there on miss it. Noonan. Anyway, the Hawks host the Bulls tonight in State Farm Arena. UCLA has hired former Bruins player Deshaun Foster as their new head coach. That's the only guy they could get to replace Chip Kelly, who quit to take an offensive coordinator job at Ohio State. And this is seriously, this was a joke over the weekend that everybody was laughing about, and Lane Kiffin laughed about it. That some Alabama fan posted that Lane Kiffin has asked if he could be the OC at Alabama again. That's what has just happened here. One guy left a head coaching position at UCLA to go to Ohio State to take a lesser job.
Yeah.
That's just unheard of.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know.
Speaking of sad, an Indonesian soccer player killed when he was struck by lightning while playing a game. The video is shocking.
I'll bet. Yes.
It is. It's a rough video to look because all of a sudden half the players run and half of them run away and half of them run toward him. It's interesting how it really points out who people are, how some people run from the danger and some people run to the danger. And they ran right. That poor bastard standing off by himself, whack, it comes down from the sky like a Zeus thunderbolt and zaps him right there.
Oh, man. Does he just collapse and is he on fire or something burning? Oh, my God.
He went right down to the ground. It wasn't close enough to see if he was smoking or anything, but it was not pretty.
Brutal.
On this date, February 12th, in 1878, Clarence Pants Rowland was born, managed the White Sox around 1915. Clarence got the nickname Pants. How do you think he got his name Pants?
By not wearing any when he got to the ballpark one day, I'm guessing.
Close. He would wear his father's overalls when he played for the Dubuque 9th Street Blues.
The farmer's overalls? Well, they're loose. I mean, I guess you can move around in them, if you...
I love overalls. I'm going to go get me some tomorroh.
One of our greatest... Well, we used to dress our two little daughters in the little cute little girl overalls that are just as sweet, little pigtail stuff. Just little girls in overalls are as sweet as they could be.
I'm telling you, women in overalls is cute too, because once you unsnap those two hooks, man,
that's right, baby.
Nothing
Off
underneath.
it goes. Oh, I know this. Well, I don't really know it. I heard it. You know.
Yeah, just the people have told you about.
Yeah,
it.
I've
1942. Former Texarkana outfielder Gordon Houston, the first professional ball player killed in World War II, a 25-year-old minor league batting champion. He was a fighter pilot after the Pearl Harbor attack. He died when his Republic P-43 Lancer crashed at Washington's McCord Field. He led a sortie along the West Coast. They were looking for Japanese submarines, and he crashed when he came back. So he was the first one killed. There was a few killed, I think, during World War II on that. So it's pretty sad there. And as for those streakers...
Yeah, a couple of streakers. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't even see any video of it. Did you see it? Is it actually... Yeah, what's the deal? No good.
One looked like he was a little light in the loafers, what he was dressed like before he ran. I think he had overalls on, to tell you the truth, before he jumped out there. And one guy, I forget the guy's name, some reporter, some big-name reporter for CBS or somebody, actually goes, I don't know how a streaker could get through Super Bowl security. Well, dumbass, he wasn't nude when he walked into the place.
Idiot. How can a person walk in with his clothes on? Is the damnedest thing I've ever... God.
Well, security was looking to see if he had concealed anything. And they're going, well, obviously he hasn't concealed anything. Let him through.
Apparently, if they've revealed his shortcomings, it's okay with us. By the way,
it was the best run for Kansas City that day, by the way.
Well, apparently so. Is that sports? I didn't want to cut you off prematurely.
That's it.
And also, my thanks to Scott McFarlane, who told Flounder how to get that stupid squeaky noise off my phone, which he did. But I don't. But where did it come from? I didn't put it in there, and all of a sudden it showed up this weekend.
It's part of the new Apple update.
Oh, I hate these bastards. There's a couple other things that all of a sudden that are annoying as hell. Every time, well, I know every time they do an update, it makes it worse. And now I had to take steps to get rid of something they put on there. That's not right. Anyway, all right, I got a quick birthday update here. Hold on, don't go away yet. Pete birthday, Robert Griffin III, 34. Heisman Trophy winner, works as the NFL analyst for ESPN. And on this day in history, 1878, Frederick W. Thayer patented the baseball catcher's mask. And on this day, 1 year later, 1879, the first American ice rink using artificial ice opened, Madison Square Garden in New York City. Anyway, boys, 5:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. More Flounders funnies and stuff right after this. Don't go anywhere now, for God's sakes.
Stuff?
The legend Neil Bort sees only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
$20+ million of research went into the fair tax. The bill is still before the Congress, but it's really going nowhere. Why? 2 reasons. It would have been the largest transfer of power from the federal government to the people in the history of this country. Politicians will not stand for that. The people had to demand it, but the people were busier demanding more wins from their professional football team and more goodies from the government paid for by somebody else. Have a happy tax season.
Bortz weighs in with commentary every day and is live with the Morning Extra on Tuesdays. Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack. We specialize in only foundation repair. What is foundation repair? Foundations sink or settle. These issues need to be addressed. It only becomes more costly the longer you put it off. What is the biggest cause of foundation problem? Either poor construction, inferior site preparation, or weather. Drought causes cracks in your foundations. If you see any signs of foundation issues, please contact us at atlantaramjack.com.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. The best part of my job is when I get to put a settlement check in the hands of someone Bruce won a case for and see it change their life. I'm Amy Risley, and I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Look out, here we go. Stand by. Yeah, giddy up, go, darling. 536 was on this day in 1967. 15 police officers raided Redlands, the West Sussex home of the Rolling Stone Keith Richards during a weekend party. 15 cops armed with a search warrant under the Dangerous Drugs Act took away various substances for forensic testing. George and Patty Harrison had been at the house. It was said the police waited for them to leave before they raided the house in order not to bust the holder of the British Empire. That could have been interesting. Remember the British Empire getting busted in a drug raid at Keith Richards' house. Well, that's pretty cool. And, oh, Dan, come on, stupid phone. Everything goes black. Come on, get up there. Hold on, I got to. Okay, there we go. Our birthday list includes. Let's see, what was I going to include? Arsenio Hall. Coming to America, and he did his own show. He did the woof woof. He did the woof thing first, right? Wasn't that Arsenio? Woof,
I saw the show.
Yeah. I remember he used to. And didn't he have Bill Clinton playing the saxophone one night on this show or something?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. And on this day in history, it's called Putting the S'more in Smorgasbord. King Adolf Frederick, on this day in 1771, King Frederick had the misfortune of ruling Sweden during a period when the monarchy was virtually powerless. So he had a lot of free time on his hands and nothing to do. As a mere figurehead, there was nothing much for the king to do but decorate small snuff boxes, which was his favorite hobby, snuff box decoration, and eating. One meal in 1771 on this day proved particularly memorable because it was his last. The king had lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, and kippers, all washed down with champagne, but it was the dessert. 14 servings of a rich, sweet roll known as semla that caused the king to basically explode and killed him after that meal on this day in Sweden in 1771. So there you go. That's 5:38 with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Another Flounders Funnies coming up, and we got a couple of breaking news stories, including the Fulton Fanny the Fulton Floozy will not get out of going to court on Thursday. She was in court today, and the judge confirmed he will hold an evidentiary hearing Thursday over allegations that Fanny the Floozy was engaged in an improper affair. Well, that's obvious. She hired this guy to prosecute Donald Trump. It had nothing to do. He's never done a case like this before. They had apparently been lovers for a long time. Willis admitted to a personal relationship but denied any conflict of interest. And the judge at a hearing today considered the motions. He said, I'm studying the law. It's clear the disqualification can occur if evidence is produced demonstrating an actual conflict or the appearance of one. And the filing submitted on this issue so far prevents a conflict in the evidence that can't be resolved as a matter of law. Well, she's going to have to go back to court Thursday and explain herself. Again, there's been a second complaint that she's been playing hide the Zorga to Zorga with this guy for a lot longer than when the day after she hired him. It's been apparently going on for years, and there's someone's going to say so. So she could be. I can't believe what is she thinking? What was she thinking in the beginning? I mean, what an idiot.
I'll tell you exactly what she was thinking. I'm untouchable.
Yeah, I guess I'm black and I'm a prosecutor, and so I'm going to be mayor one day, taken after Keisha Bong Bottoms, I guess, and figure she can spread it around, spread the love. I don't know. I mean, it's just freaking astounding. So that's an update. She has to go to court Thursday. Oh, now, Flounder, Pete just found a couple of news stories here which are very bizarre. One is, in fact, we do segments frequently on AI, new technology, and so forth. And now, can you play this in there? Do we have to go through a process of the Hitler thing at all?
Should we play it?
Here's what it is. Somebody has come up with a way to use voice cloning technology to demonstrate what Adolf Hitler's speeches would sound like if he were speaking English. So, and it's very short. I played it on my phone a second ago. Pete found this. It's a few seconds of Hitler in German and then a few seconds of Hitler in English. And if this is offensive to you, apologize. This is news. This is, we're talking about AI. Singers are saying, hey, they're using my freaking voice. And this is the new thing. You should know about this stuff. Here's Adolf freaking Hitler.
Für Richtiges, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet my work for correctness. Whether you believe that I have been diligent, that I have worked, that I have advocated for you in these years, that I have been decent, I have spent my time in service of my people. Now cast your vote. If yes, then stand up for me as I have stood up for you.
Adolf Hitler, and using his voice in English. And again, he only spoke.
We've all seen that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and he made clear, and I don't know whether he knew this or he felt it automatically or just subconsciously, but he basically only spoke at night. And the reason you speak at night is when people's defenses are much less. After they've had a hard day and it's evening time, things are dark, and they're all gathered, the crowds are gathered. Psychologists will tell you that it's much more effective in the evening time at night to crowds, especially for the crowd mentality.
He used theatrics, and he used trained actors to teach him how to use his voice and the gesticulation to get the crowd riled up. I mean, he practiced it for hours.
And you've seen him. If you've seen video of Hitler, it's very specific. I mean, he's very animated and sharp and fierce, and he did it on purpose. So that was kind of weird. And the second thing is, now, Flounder, are you able to get the sound without the commercial in for the second story? The second story was just in. We mentioned Houston rapper Killer Mike last week when he got arrested at the Grammys. After he got a couple of awards, he got arrested in handcuffs for beating up a security guard at the Grammys, for God's sake. Well, now Killer Mike's back in the news. He was on The View, and let's see, let me get the story here. He was on The View, and he took on Sonny Hostin after offering some praise for Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and explaining he's focused on local elections. And they asked him, why aren't you endorsing Joe Biden? Because you're black, obviously, and therefore, if you're black, you should support Joe Biden. Anyway, can we play a little bit of that soundbite? Do we have to get rid of the commercial first?
No, we're good.
Oh, here we go. Here's Killer Mike this morning on The View.
Recently for being somewhat critical of President Biden, saying you weren't ready to endorse him yet. What's your holdup there?
What's my holdup? Well, first of all, I think everyone should focus on hyper-local. We get caught up in the soap opera of federal elections, and that's fine. But if you are concerned with the federal election, you don't know who your city council or your wardsman is, you don't know who your mayor is, and you don't have a good list of state representatives or governor, then you're just a part of whoever wins the Super Bowl or fanfare. So my most important election is going to be in about a year and a half for who's my mayor going to be. I think that Andre Dickens is doing a great job around housing in Atlanta, and I don't want that to be lost. Even though we have a Republican governor, Brian Kemp, I have a good relationship with him. I like what he's done in terms of Georgia business. We've been leading business amongst all states for the last 10 years, and he brought back the Hope Scholarship and expanded it. So if you're a kid in Georgia, you're poor, you got a B average, you can go to college for free or trade school. So in my community, girls are going to college, but boys don't have anywhere to go, and they're not choosing to. In my community, I have a push for trades. That's why I support organizations like Georgia Youth Build. I support organizations like Next Level Boys Academy, because they usher out boys. I need my daughters to be able to marry somebody. Right. So, and even in that case, I have said, okay, this governor's doing a good job. In terms of nationally, I'm just kind of doing what my grandfather said, staying out of white folks' business and watching what happens. I'm going to see what happens. If there's a candidate that pops up around September, October that needs a push that's really, and policy-wise is good for us, going to jump up. But for right now, I just don't want to be involved in the soap opera because I'm much too concerned about what's going on in Atlanta on a hyper-local level.
Pretty clever. Killer Mike staying out of why he's not endorsing Joe Biden. I mean, the question was, why aren't you jumping on the Biden bandwagon? And he never answered the question.
Another thing that wasn't on there that he said about Brian Kemp was, he said, as a Southern man, I connected pretty much instantly with him. Politics and policy don't matter to me as much as human decency and principles. And he seemed to be a principled human being when I talked to him.
Outstanding. Again, in terms of nationally, Killer Mike said, I'm just kind of doing what my grandfather said, staying out of white folks' business and watching what happens. Well, it's 5:45 already. Holy smokes. Flounders, we have another Flounders Fun. He's probably coming up here too, and so much more. With the Kevin Pete and Flounder right here, 5:45.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Pete Andrews, CEO of Reconnect. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
This Valentine's Day, treat your special someone to a spa day at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy. Voted Best Day Spa by Atlanta Magazine. Give the gift of love and relaxation with a gift card they can use for massages, facials, body therapies, and more. Your loved one can unwind and let their stress melt away with a spa day at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy. Visit them today. They have 8 locations around Atlanta or shop online anytime at naturalbody.com.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
This was a weird singing guy in the 60s. Donovan. Things just went about me. It was 1965. Pi Records announced they'd signed the British Bob Dylan. When they added Donovan to the label, the Scottish singer-songwriter produced a series of hit albums and singles. Between 66 and 1970, became a friend of leading pop musicians, including Joan Baez, Brian Jones, and the Beatles. He influenced John Lennon when he taught John Lennon a finger-picking guitar style in 1968. Donovan, the British Bob Dylan.
But Bob Dylan's movie, Don't Look Back, about his tour of Britain, there's a very hard scene to watch where they're going to meet Donovan in the hotel room, and they're all laughing about him, about how lame he is.
Ooh.
And then he comes in, and they're all, smiling to him and laughing. And when he leaves, they laugh at him again. Can you imagine Donovan going to the premiere of that movie and sitting there and having to watch that?
Holy cow. No, I mean, wow. Oh, icky. Poo. That's hideously bad. Let's see. Birthday list includes Judy Blume, 86 years old, author of the classic children's books Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, Super Fudge, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, among other things. Judy Blume, 86 years old today. Brett Kavanaugh, I think, is 59 today. I saw this on one list and none other, so I don't know if that's right or not. Let's see. Remember the guy who played Samir in Office Space? That movie? That was a great movie. It was on again the other night. It's on every once in a while. Office Space. Jage Nadiu is 52. He played Samir in Office Space. If you ever watch Chicago Fire, the guy who played Matt Casey or Dr. Robert Chase on the House, Jesse Spencer's 45. I don't know him, but if people watch those shows, I thought
I do.
That in there.
I'm one of those nerds who watches those shows.
Mostly, that's why, just for fun. And by the way, this was the day in 1892, President Lincoln's birthday was officially declared a national holiday in 1892, and it was also on this same day that the NAACP was founded in response to Lincoln's hometown of Springfield, Illinois, with a bunch of deadly riots. So in 1909, on his birthday, they founded the NAACP. And one more. Let's see. Savannah, Georgia, founded by an English colonist, James Oglethorpe, on this day in 1733. So there you go. Let's see. 5:53 already. Holy cow, holy cow. If you just joined us, the Lakewood church shooting was by a tranny, a guy born as a guy, wants to be a girl. He's an anti-Christian. He had a Palestinian support thing on his rifle. He had a 7-year-old kid who's not expected to live after being hurt during the shooting at the church. Thank God there were 2 off-duty cops with guns who are security guards, which is, again, showing you why you should have people with guns in church, because the world's not the same as it used to be, thanks to people like trannies and weirdo freako leftists. You know, this guy was not a conservative MAGA supporter. Oh. Okay?
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, what? He was Bernie Sanders.
He was a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Oh, well, there you are. And again, he was a tranny, a vicious tranny, and a pro-Palestinian supporter. I mean, what do you freaking expect? And they say the kid's probably not going to live. I don't know who shot him or what happened or anything else. But this, it's a guy and wants to be a girl. I thought he was a girl. Also, Fanny the Floozy from Fulton County is going to have to go to court to explain herself on Thursday. She tried to get out of it today, and it didn't work. Defense Chief Lloyd Austin is back in the hospital because of a bladder issue. Just resign, man. Just get the hell out of there and just leave us alone. Democrat congressman and some others are complaining that nobody was standing for the black national anthem. Steve Cohen, Democrat from Tennessee, said, the Negro national anthem, not a pretty picture of the Super Bowl crowd. Very, very few stood for it. Yeah, no kidding. I looked when they playing the song. Nobody was. I looked in the entire background of the crowd, which was way in the background for good reason. They were all just milling around on their phones, talking to people, going up to get something to drink. And for the first time ever, if there's ever a national anthem, the director of the show always has some shots in the crowd. They show little girls with their daddy, or there's somebody holding their heart. I mean, they always show shots in the crowd. It makes it personal. Not a single shot when they played the Negro national anthem, as he says here. Not a single shot of the crowd, because would have been embarrassing. It would have showed them not giving a damn. And now this congressman says, oh, no, this is disgusting. And it was this hate-filled America here. Slavery, hey. And people say, wait a minute. We only have one national anthem. That's why they call it the national anthem, not the black guy anthem. I mean, come on. You'd have to have 50 of them. How about the Indian national anthem? The one we ought to have is the American Indian national anthem.
What did you think of Post Malone's America the Beautiful?
Oh, my God. I couldn't look at him. I saw those metal teeth, jaw. Oh, my God. And the ink and everything. But he's a beautiful singer, and he's a great guitar. I mean, it was beautiful, and I hated it. I didn't want to. I honestly got, America. Oh, Lord. Yeah, let's play out. Absolutely, Flounder. Where is it? Grain. I didn't hear him say grain. I don't think he said it. It's beautiful music, It's weird, it's different, but I like it.
He's a weirdo, but he's got a very good voice and he's talented.
Yeah, no question about it. But I couldn't look at him with all that ink. Plus, that had to hurt like a son of a bitch. I mean, the skin on your face. Holy criminy! Jeez.
Well, that guy Travis Barker from Blink 182 has his whole body tattooed, and that new big guy Jelly Roll.
Oh, John! Oh my God!
Yeah, he's got a bunch of tattoos on his face.
Didn't they make fun of him in one of the commercials where he looked at himself in the mirror and went, what have I done? Or something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Do we have time for Flounders Funny? We have 2 minutes. Let's do a Flounders Funny here, folks, with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder right here, just for you.
What is awesome about crime in Maine is that when we have crime in Maine, the crime rate is low. But when we have crime, it's hilarious. We had a woman that turned her Zumba class into a front for prostitution. Apparently, her Zumba classes weren't going very well. So she did a business pivot, and she just pivoted to prostitution. And then her classes picked up, and... and then she got arrested. So what happens now if you open a Zumba class in Maine, people don't like to call it Zumba because they don't want to be associated with prostitution. So we have classes called dance fitness and exercise dance, and we're not hookers.
Who's that girl?
That is Karen Morgan.
Karen Morgan. Well done, Karen. That's very sweet and very cute. And sounds like kind of a girl next door type. Very cool.
She does have that look, actually.
Oh, sure. I'll have to Google see what she looks like. God, it's 5:59. I can't believe it. By the way, I heard the other day I put up a sign and it said, girlfriends are like chew toys. If you nibble them just right, they squeak. And I kind of joke, and I heard from a lady who thought that was kind of kinky, but because you guys laughed at me, made fun of me when I said something like that, and I was being an old creep. And this one particular lady did not think it was creepy at all, and I'm going to bring this full circle by Valentine's Day because she contacted me, and without knowing it, she basically told me, don't be an idiot, old man, but we got a way to make it so it's not really your fault. And it's so sweet. And but it's also the end of the Kimmers. Yeah.
I like to say that when we played the Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, that was CBS Sports. I forgot to attribute to them.
Well, there you are. Well, all I know is my last girlfriend said she couldn't react when we had foreplay because there wasn't enough time. Coming up on 6 o'clock, the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hoorah, Semper Fi, I gotta go. You're killing me. Look out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta Extra 106.3.
Hoping to set them free. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Biden says his team is continuing to work on a hostage deal between Hamas and Israel to pause fighting in Gaza for several weeks.
The key elements of an agreement to free Israeli hostages in Gaza in exchange for a ceasefire of at least 6 weeks are on the table, President Biden says.
There are gaps that remain, but I've encouraged Israeli leaders to keep working to achieve the deal. The United States will do everything possible to make it happen.
The president, following a meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah II, also renewed his worries of a major Israeli military operation in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinians are sheltering.
Exposed and vulnerable, they need to be protected.
President Biden says he opposes any forced displacement of Palestinian civilians from Gaza.